I totally thought you said hit the video now. We'll get that time for that eventually.
We will, man. We will. It's like a slight lag. I don't know why it keeps doing that, man. Happy Friday, bro. Cephas, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just a
Yeah.
Good Friday. I guess we still celebrate Columbus Day, so long weekend, quote unquote. But yeah, man, it's been a good Friday. How about yourself?
My Friday was good, man. Got a new customer today through a referral from one of the conventions I went to. So that was cool, man. And it was even better because I just sent like a literally 2-sentence email saying, hey, like, we were supposed to do business on a load in the past, but I said, hey, even though our last transaction fell through, still want to do some business with you. Why don't we get together? And the dude emailed me back in 5 minutes and was like, yeah, send me your setup packet, Rob. We'll have it done for you by the end of the day. And I was like, okay, dude, within like 10 minutes, we had them set up in our system with $50,000 in credit. And now me and the guy got a meeting next week to discuss stuff. So pretty fucking awesome day, man.
That's great, man.
Yeah, bro. It sure was, man. And I want to touch on your Columbus Day. You and I were talking about that, dude. Like,
dude,
still celebrating Columbus Day. Like, I know we also call it Indigenous People Day too, but it's like I didn't know we still celebrate that. Like, I thought.
I don't know, man. Google Calendar still shows me Columbus Day, and you'd think in this culture it would be something else. I'm surprised this. But it goes to show you, if you get a day off, nobody cares.
I know that's right, bro. I know. I don't know.
Columbus,
I'm
gonna do bad things, but hey, thanks for the day off.
I'm gonna be here. Well, I mean I don't know, dude. We could get into it. I'm a huge history buff, and so I say and as a Scandinavian heritage, Viking, I take offense to the fact that Columbus gets credit for setting over here because we all know that
y'all discovered Canada.
Not North America. He's impressed with North America, not just America. So
yeah, all right, whatever.
Regardless,
we talk about Plymouth Rock, even though, it's all been.
Anyway, I didn't know we still celebrated. Columbus Day. It was a fucking shock to me, dude. Even the kids got a 4-day weekend. I'm like, what? 4 days?
I feel like that's about to be a thing, dude. Like any Monday holidays, we all know people on the Friday before, they're just checked out. They got big plans.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Give me some 4-day weeks. Give me some 4-day holidays.
I'm for it too. But that a 4-day week in this industry is an impossibility. I don't know what you would get done.
I mean, drivers, yeah, but hey, your customer wants to get that thing moved, make a little money. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
I don't know. I couldn't do a 4-day work week, man. I'm a workaholic, dude. Like I always have been. I enjoy working. My work ethic is important to me. So like, I'm just always.
But I guarantee you on Monday, both of us are still going to be sitting in front of our computer.
I am. I will.
Probably not going to be full on working because ain't nobody can answer the phone or not a lot's going to be happening. But yeah,
I got freight moving Monday. I've already got 3 loads booked moving Monday. So, and I'm sure I'll get more. Man, none of my customers recognize holidays. Like I'm serious, dude, except for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, and I got one customer that last Thanksgiving and Christmas, I ended up picking loads up Thanksgiving night and Christmas night to deliver the next morning. So I don't know who in logistics even. I mean, I said even.
I don't know. Obviously, you don't work with Canadians.
Oh well,
them cats take off half the year.
Must be fucking nice, I guess. Must be nice to have it like that. I wouldn't be able to get anything done and make any money if I only worked 3 or 4 days, whatever week. So anyway, yeah, man, it's pretty good day. I said a new customer and all that stuff. Just moseying along, moving through the day, getting ready for my weekend. Got some projects I'm going to do tomorrow. Got to go to the dump and mow the neighbor's yard, and then I'm going to do some shit around the house, like construction jobs and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, man, really looking forward to it, dude. And I will say that before we move on, our guest, Rob Carpenter, was not able to make it on with us tonight. He lost his grandfather a few hours ago. So Rob, I already told you this when we were texting earlier, but again, man, my condolences. I'm sorry to hear that, and our love and positive vibes are with you and your family, my friend.
Absolutely.
So we will go ahead and move on. We're supposed to be having a I that sounded crap. I didn't want to make a small thing about it, but I don't want to be down on the show. So anyway, we're supposed to be having Terry Cole come on. He is a former driver. Now he's a dispatcher, but he still holds his CDL. And me, even though I don't hold my CDL anymore for medical reasons, as I said, I drove for a long time. So we're still going to touch on safety stuff. I have some topics that I came up with off the top of my head that I think are real good starting points and probably the core things that when it comes to safety. So we'll talk about that. Hopefully Terry will join us. And if not, then I guess Hunter will do his best to try to keep up.
Hey, the floor is open. The floor is open. Anybody that wants to join.
Yeah. Anyone
hit us in the comments.
Yeah, anyone out there watching carriers, I mean, if you want to join the conversation, we're going to talk about some safety stuff here in a minute. Of course, we're going to do our quick sponsor break that'll take us literally a minute and a half, and then we'll do our news, which will take us a few minutes. That I'm excited about too, because it is an update on something that we talked about previously on the show about that I feel is real important to you owner-operators, or just to everybody, honestly, but I know it'll be a real big deal with the owner-operator. So that said, we're going ahead and get started, giving a shout out to Freight Management Systems here. Information at the bottom of the screen. They have a transportation management system out there that is for all you people in logistics. Tons of integration capabilities and other EDI factors. Cloud access. Just too much stuff to name. So if you're looking for yourself a good transportation management system, make sure you hit up Henry Sheldon and his team and tell them the Logistic Lounge sent you. I have no idea what just happened there, dude. And my screen, wow. That was so crazy, man. So crazy. My whole thing is like frozen over here, dude.
If we're being real here, FMS is some breaking news coming in October or November. Safety third.
I'm trying to see who it is. Trying to see who that was. My whole thing's frozen over here, though, man. Like seriously, I can't. Can you run AccuBid stuff? Like the whole brand section for me is frozen. Hunter, can you change everything and run AccuBid stuff for me?
Yeah, dude.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
Bam! AccuBid Pro, their app is available in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. Their app is focused to all you owner and lease operators to help you keep track of your expenses, and then it helps you calculate your cost per mile and where your profit starts. Keeps track of all kinds of data. I'm not sure how far back it stores data, but that's something you could ask Jimmy Durden and his team when you call them. Information rolling across the bottom of the screen, and we'll keep it up there for a minute, and we will run their stuff a little bit later as well. So, yeah. That said, what I want to actually before I do that, I want to find out whose freaking comment this was, man. That's what I want to do. Oh, it's Kyle. Freaking Kyle. Safety third, as I always say. Fucking Kyle.
Hey, safety first, and then teamwork.
Let me tell you something about Kyle. So I've been something happened yesterday, and I was trying to get in touch with him, and like we were just talking, and then he just stopped answering me, right? And I'm like, and it was like something kind of important to me, and I'm like, this son of a bitch, like he is literally just ghosting me. And his icon in Slack was not on. So I was like, man, he just said, I'm out of here today. Like I'm leaving. And then I messaged him this morning and asked him about it again. Nothing. But as soon as I say I got a new customer, Kyle's like, oh, money. And so like he started messaging me. And I was like, no. Now you want to talk. I said, I'm gonna ban your ass from my channel in your own
You just need to. You just anytime you have a problem, to say, "Hey, I got this customer."
Yeah, yeah, right. That's what I'm gonna do. Hey, Kyle, I just got new customers. Hey, what's up, man? Oh, that's funny, man. All right, so we're gonna roll on into our new segment. Like I said, update from something we had talked previously about. The article is from last week, but still really cool information, and be something we'll keep track on to see where it continues to lead. All right. So a few weeks ago, maybe a month, we talked about this. When it first dropped, about the FMCSA implementing basically a governor for all trucks out there, owner operators, company drivers, all that stuff, similar to what Canada did. Canada, their trucks are limited to 65 miles an hour. And so, of course, that was what everyone thought America was going to try to do is, we're going to do 65 miles an hour and mirror Canada. And no one had an idea what it was. The article was just saying they were talking about it, that they were putting it in play and going to get some feedback on it, so forth and so on. So now here we have this. Apparently, the FMCSA, something got leaked from there, and in that document, those documents said that they were looking to set the speed limit for trucks at 68 miles an hour. They were going to, of course, do that through, like I said, basically a governor. You can see that they call it an electronic engine control unit. So basically, if they implement this, if this goes through the proper processes and channels, and gets put into law, regulation, however you want to say it, then every truck out there will have to get their ECU reflashed or to set their speed limit down to 68 miles an hour. So a lot of owner operators are against this, which I understand. And I will say it kind of goes and touches with the union thing we were talking about last night. It's someone telling you what to do with your business and to a point where it could hinder you making money. So, I get that, man. The owner operators don't want to be told what to do with their truck. And if they want to go 75 miles a fucking hour, then they want to go 70 miles an hour. But I will say that honestly, I agree with it. I mean, 68. Yeah, I'm honestly good with that. You know what I mean? I personally, I see no reason for a truck to be doing 70 plus, maybe 70, maybe they can set it at 70, but I would even do it to where it only does 70 with your foot on the pedal and your cruise is set at 68, and the reason I say that is, you drivers out there, you guys know that these things don't stop on a dime, y'all are taught that. And, I've also noticed a lot of drivers now, man, they're the worst people about tailgating. I mean, they're just some of the biggest bullies out there, come running up on your ass at 74 miles an hour, crawling up your butt, trying to make you get over and stuff. And then they fly past you faster than some of the cars are going. And I don't think that that's necessary, man. And
I would say you should see some of them FedEx and Amazon drivers about 3 a.m. going down 40 through Nashville.
Oh yeah, I know, dude. Seriously, 75
drag racing, racing, man.
Yeah, and I don't see the purpose in it. And it consumes so much more fuel. I mean, whether it's a car or a truck, I mean, it's just common sense. The faster you go, the more fuel you're going to use. And the fact that most of the drivers out there are literally just keeping their foot mash down on the pedal, that leaves your throttle body open, you know what I mean? And your ejectors spewing fuel wide open into your engine. So you're just wasting nothing. You're doing nothing but wasting fuel as well. 65 miles an hour versus 70 miles an hour over the course of a 10-hour span without stopping is a difference of 50 miles. Like that's it. Now that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. I mean, if you have proper trip rating, 50 miles should not make a difference in your day at all. And finally, most truck tires are only rated for 70 miles an hour, not 75, not fucking 80, not 85. I mean, I've seen trucks go 85, 90 miles an hour, man. Some of these trucks out there are just wide open. So, I think it's a good thing. I really do. I'm for it. Even if I was an owner operator, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Like I said, I don't know if it should be 68 completely, maybe 70, and then, with your foot on the gas, and 68 on cruise, but I'm with it. I really am. I know a lot of people are going to, not like me for that, but I see no problem in trying to.
It's safety, man. Like, we have families on that road. There are driver families that could be affected. Someone just ends up going too fast, comes around a hot curve, boom, takes out a family of 3. Like, it's something for everybody to think about, man. Like you said, be on your shit, know your schedule, and you don't have anything to worry about. Dude, save freaking money, man. Like, you're charging us this much for rate per mile.
Yeah, I mean, really
probably make more money.
proper trip planning, man. How fast you can go won't come into a factor. Not saying that things don't happen that set you back that are not your fault, but the point is that's exactly what those are. They're not your fault. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I know how these drivers freak out, man. They obviously get paid when the wheels are turning, and it's about, quick flips and stuff. But however, as the saying goes, speed kills, and that is accurate in every sense, whether it's in a car, a truck, on a motorcycle, any of that stuff, man. The faster you're going, the more dangerous that you are, and the more risk that you're giving yourself and to others around you, especially when you're talking about 75 feet of an 80,000 pounds of rolling death down the highway. So, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, again, I say this all the time, something my trainer taught me, he's like, do this, it's 75 feet and 80,000 pounds of rolling death. And that's what it's going to be if you don't control this truck and operate in a safe manner. It's a deadly weapon going down the highway, man. So,
dude, what would be great for tonight's show is some old dude from the Midwest that drives a big old RV like we talked about before.
Dude,
I'd love to see that man defend himself on why he deserves to be driving that much without a license.
That I would like to see that too. Unfortunately, I do not know anybody who drives RVs like that. But dude, I really like that.
Hilarious.
That stuff. It was a really, really good point. That was made there. Seriously, those drivers have to have all these licenses. To haul trailers that long, but you can, man. No. You can be in a 40-foot RV and then tow a 20-foot trailer behind you, and no big deal. Yeah, it's nowhere near as heavy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're 30,000, 40,000 pounds.
But dude, that's still dude. I see people driving like small U-Haul box trucks that don't know what the hell they're doing. So you're gonna give someone. Essentially, dude. Like, it doesn't matter how much the weight is, but it is a different vehicle, and that is like a boat. You got to have a license to drive a boat. Like, why don't you need a special license to drive an RV?
I agree 1,000%, man. Or at least RVs over over a certain amount or a certain weight, length, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't know what is going on here with Terry, man. I'm about to call him, dude, because that really sucks, man. I hate when we have to do things on the fly. Like, I really do, man. Like, I hate that. It's not wearing. Anyway, I just want to call. I'm gonna call him real quick before we move on. I don't even know if I have his number, to be honest with you.
It's all good.
And I don't. It don't matter. Oh well, whatever, man. Whatever. Are there any carriers out there you want to hop on? I think everybody's chilling right now. All right, well, fine. We'll just get fucking right into it. That's what it is. Forget Terry. Forget Terry. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm gonna say. Forget Terry. Where'd you go, Hunter?
What you mean?
Oh, never mind. I know what you're doing.
I'm just trying to get some dinner in, bro.
I ate some pizza. What are you eating for dinner?
I got some brown rice and black beans, low sodium.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's bulk and
anyway. Yeah. So we wanted to talk about safety tonight, and although our guest was not able to make it because of his family situation, we are still
it don't matter.
Still going to do that.
It don't matter.
No, man. You know, hopefully we'll have Terry hop on. I reached out to a couple other people to see if they want to jump on, but I haven't heard back from them yet. So with that said, we will just keep the train rolling into the next station. The first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to safety is actually pre-trips. The best thing that you can do, in my opinion, for yourself safety-wise is proper pre-trips and post-trips. You know, I mean, they're specifically designed for you to catch problems before they become a real issue. You know what I mean? Or catch issues before they become real problems, however you want to say it. And if you're doing those things properly, you know, you're going to catch the bad tires. You're going to catch the boots leaking from your tie rods. You're going to catch the your coolant level that's low. You're going to see that your air hoses are messed up. You know, your pigtail is frayed. All of those little things that could cause issues out there and are a safety risk. You know, I mean, if you pigtail, you lose your lights and at night, you know, someone could come running up on you fast, slam in the back of your trailer. You know, your airlines are leaking a little bit. You know, you could lose enough air to your trailer and your trailer brakes release, and then you lock your trailer up going 60 something miles, well, 75, 85 miles an hour down the highway. And
like that dude in Denver.
Huh?
Like that dude in Denver a couple years ago. Bombing down the hill.
I was just thinking about that the other day. That guy.
Are you on his side?
I don't really remember.
I kind of feel bad for the dude.
I do feel bad for the guy. I don't think they should have like hit him as hard as they did. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, I don't know. I think I was on the fence about it. I'd have to go back and read about it because I know there was a lot that had like came out after the initial thing. So I'd have to go back and read about it. But I do remember that, man. I don't know. Did he ever get off? Did they convict him on all that stuff, or do you remember?
I'm looking it up right now.
I
think he got convicted of like 10 years, but I'm gonna look this up.
Oh, that's right. I think yeah, okay. I think they like cut his sentence back or whatever. If you just tuning in, we're talking about the guy from Denver who killed all those people, you know, and is coming down that hill into that degrade into Denver, you know, and his brakes went out or whatever, and he, you know, killed, I don't know however many people it was.
Oh, dude. So I'm reading it right now. So it was this dude. How fast does time fly? This was in 2019.
Damn, was it really?
But yeah, he killed 4 people, injured several others. He crashed, damaged, or destroyed 28 vehicles, and he was convicted of 27 counts, including vehicular homicide. But then there was the petition of 1.5 million people asking them to grant him, like, to grant clemency. I don't know what that means, or commutation as time served. But dude,
I remember
23 years old. I don't think he'd been a driver for that long.
I can't believe that. Yeah, I remember they tried giving him. It was like 100 years is what it was. It was some really crazy shit, and he did. And I remember they cut it back to whatever it was you just said.
Yeah, dude. He said he was struggling to get into gear, and he lost his brakes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whatever came out of it. Like as far as the investigation and inspection of the truck. I don't know. I don't know if they found anything, but I will say that there you go, right there. You know, if he did in fact lose his brakes, coming down that mountain, it only would have been for a handful of reasons. Either he rode the brakes too long and he lost all his air pressure, which if he did it that bad, then it also would have caught the trailer brakes on fire. Or, you know, something happened. One of his air canisters went out, or one of his air lines broke, or something like that. But even if he had lost all the air in his tanks going to his trailer, then you know the brakes still would have locked up and set. So I don't know, man. Whatever.
Shit. So I'm reading this now, dude. So he was originally sentenced to 110 years in prison, and then I guess that petition got him down to 10 years, and he's eligible for parole in December of 2026. I mean, dude, that's just shitty though. Like, yeah, like really bad accident, but I don't know. That's a toughie.
They tried nailing that guy to the wall, man. About
throwing the book at him.
Just because he was driver, dude, and coincidentally, you know, one of the posts I made, I think you saw it, man. That little cartoon video or whatever about the truck and shit like that going through traffic and all that stuff, man. And I even said in there that these truck drivers on the road, they're so many rules and are so highly regulated, and their consequences are extreme. And with truckers specifically, it's guilty until proven innocent. That's the way it is. The way it has been, that's the way it's always going to be. But you got these cars, these four-wheelers out there that drive like absolute fucking maniacs. You know what I'm saying? And nothing. You know what I mean? Oh, and you're saying, oh, well, they got laws too, they got tickets. But yeah, but you know what? If that person's on their way to work, slams into somebody and kills their whole fucking family, they're not going to lose their job and their livelihood, most likely, for that. You know what I mean? If they just get a little fender bender, that nobody's going to drug test them. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to put something on their record that they can't get a job simply because of that accident, that ticket, that whatever it is. You know what I mean? So he had multiple attempts to do the right thing. This is a matter of experience.
Is that Kyle?
No, it's Jason Wynn. Jason, you want to hop on, bro? I love Jason, dude. Me and him talk in the group all the time. Jason, if you want to hop on, man, let me know. I'll DM you a link, dude. You can hop on and chop it up with us if you got time.
Yeah. So to this point, though, man, like that's what I was getting at. Like, dude is 23, not even from America. Like, that shit's gonna happen. As terrible as it is, but you can't just throw the book at a cat like that. Like, he wasn't on any kind of substances. Like, I guess I don't have the headset. Just one. You can get on with your phone, Jason.
Yeah, that's fine, bro. I can send you a link. If I DM it, it'll just hook up right to your phone. Chris gets it, and I mean, as long as you can hear us, like we can hear you fine. We've had people just talk through the mic on their phone, and it works out fine. So you just decide if you want to, man. I'll send you a link. You can jump on. I don't know where the hell Terry's at.
Be a lot cooler if you did, Jason.
Be a lot cooler if you did. That dude, oh my god, I love Matthew McConaughey, bro. Oh my god, I fucking love him, dude. So anyway, all right, cool. Hold on, I'm gonna DM him this link real quick.
You ever drive a Buick?
You know what I like about high school girls? I get older and they stay the same age. You know, that's another movie. That's another thing that would not be on TV or television now with some of not the movie itself, but some of the jokes like that one, that shit would be cut out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way,
they did
that.
Huh? They did an interview with Robert Downey Jr. and you've seen the movie Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. They asked him, they're like, "Do you think in today's age you could make a Tropic Thunder?" He's like, "I mean, you can do whatever you put your mind to, but I wouldn't."
Yeah, for real, bro, for real.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of wild how fast the sensitivity flipped.
I know that's right. Anyway, back on subject. Safety. First, what I was talking about, pre-trips, and then we had got into the thing about the guy in the driver in Denver that came down the mountain and killed several people and injured tons other and stuff. And like I said, pre-trips, man, they are the number one thing in safety, in my opinion. Doing those inspections before and after, before you start your day and after you end your day, and it helps you catch everything. I mean,
I'm listening.
No, just turn it up, bro. We might as well just listen to what you're listening to. Fuck. Hunter's Music Hour.
We don't own the licensing to that song.
Hunter's Music Hour. Either way, those posted pre-trips, they catch. They're supposed to catch everything. Well, I say everything. Supposed to catch things that are going to put you and the others around you at risk from maintenance issues and things that are messed up on your truck. So. I'm a huge proponent for safety, period, and pre-trips and post-trips and even mid trips. Oh my God, dude. Jason, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Oklahoma State's about to make me some money tonight.
Look at you, you degenerate gambler.
Why not?
Only gambling I do is I like playing the slot machines and I like
roulette.
I love roulette, dude. It's fucking
Catch
fun.
you a hot table on roulette, it's game over.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I gambled my first 2 weeks of the football season. I lost every single bet I placed, and these past 3 weeks, been going after some. I don't know.
That's
jumping
good.
in some good stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I love you, bro. But me and you, when it's just us, we get off fucking topic too easy. All right.
Yeah.
So,
it is idle hour.
I know it is idle hour, man. Everybody ghosted us tonight, dude. Everybody ghosted.
Tony, dude, it's a holiday weekend. Ain't nobody doing nothing.
There ain't nobody out at the lake on fucking Columbus Day.
They don't have to be at the lake, man. Everybody. BBQ. Dude, it's chilly outside, man. I'd be having myself a bonfire right now if I wasn't in an apartment.
I'm
Jason.
What's up, fellas?
What's up? See, we can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay. No background noise or nothing?
No. Where you at, bro?
All right, cool.
Where you at?
I am in Durham, North Carolina in a hotel.
Oh, what you doing there?
I'm here for a wedding.
Oh,
right on.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, bro. I appreciate you chilling, taking some time out for us.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's cool. Whose wedding is it, man?
Friend of my wife's.
Oh,
she's a bridesmaid in the wedding.
Oh, okay. Is your wife there with you in the background?
Yeah, she's in the background. She don't want to be on. She stay over there.
I be trying to tell my wife the same thing, but she always be coming on here fucking with me. So, anyway. Well, cool. Hey, I was just about to move on to the next thing I wanted to talk about, JB, but I wanted to wait for you to get on before we did that. And actually, I want to say before I do move on, give us a little background about you, man. Just tell us who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, so people have an understanding that what you're saying has some knowledge behind it.
Okay, so I've been in the trucking industry probably 15 plus years. I started off as hauling hazmat with an explosive company out of West Texas. I went from that to working in the oil field, hauling pipe and heavy equipment, doing rig moves, unloading pipe at rigs. Moved away from West Texas to North Carolina. Came out here, went for grocery rolling, food service with U.S. Foods. Did that for 5 years. Part of that was in the office as a supervisor. Kind of learned the back office politics of trucking. Which then pushed me out, and I went to go work for Ruan for a year to get my feet wet again. And then I started my own authority in 2016, and I've been doing it ever since. We primarily just deal with owner-operators. I don't deal with company drivers anymore. I'm the only company driver at JB Rose, and then everybody else is an owner-operator.
Right on, man.
So, sweet, man. I like that little quick snippet, dude. That's awesome. So you started out as a suicide jockey?
Pretty much. Yeah, it made me nervous. We went to rock quarries and we'd go to the rock mines and blow them up.
Yeah.
My first day out there, they had a misfire. They went and stomped on the primer and it didn't go off, and it disconnected from the line, or however they did it, however the guy did it. And I was sitting there like scared shitless. I was like, dude, that's a misfire. Oh no, Widow, it's okay. It just come off the thing. And I'm like, dude, you better call somebody before you get me killed, dude. I hate trying to die on day one out here, son.
Oh my god, dude. That's so fucking funny, man. That would be so awesome. I only met one other guy who hauled explosives, and he was a government contractor, and he hauled munitions for the Army, Marines, all that stuff, whatever. And it was him and two buddies, and they, 3-truck operation, and that's all they did was run munitions from the munition plants, to military bases and stuff, dude. And the guy made serious change, but like I was talking to him, like, man, it's like, how does it feel, man? Like hauling explosives everywhere you go. Like, I bet your butt cheeks.
It's way more relaxed than you would think. Like, you would think you would be like super uptight and your asshole puckered up the whole time. But like, we were sitting there like throwing boosters by holes, like literally tossing them like balls and stuff. And you just tie them together and put all your mixture in the hole and tie it all together with the blaster, and boom, you hit the stomper and it goes off. The craziest part is just being in a dog shed and listening for the siren, and then it's like, all right, 3, 2, 1, fire in the hole. You stomp on that thing, and boom, 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 and then rocks are just falling all around you and stuff. It's crazy.
Dude, that would be awesome. I mean, the only explosive I've ever, dealt with is in the Army, grenades and RPGs and M203. So nothing to that magnitude, but man, that should be cool. You know what that is that is every like 10-year-old kid's dream with a pack of like M80s and cherry bombs. Like, that's what we picture in our head when we do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, that's
what's crazy awesome about it is I didn't really understand what I was getting myself into, because like that was my first truck driving job. That's where I got my learner's permit and learned how to drive was through Austin Powder Company. And I sat there through orientation. They're going through the videos, and it's like, all right. And then they show the quarry, and it just boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, what am I doing here? So, man, but I made it.
I've never, I didn't get to see them blow anything up, but when I was a driver, man, I drove for Night Refrigerated, and I was doing a delivery in Tombstone to a beer company. And anyway, there's a road, the road you go down to get to Tombstone, man, like it straddles this massive freaking diamond mine, dude. I mean, like literally it's right there outside your window, man. And that was probably like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I've never seen like a mine of that magnitude up that close, man. And just the depth that thing was, dude. And like, obviously, they did all of it with most of it with dynamite. It was just like, golly, man, it's just freaking nuts, dude. But I tried stopping in there and see if they gave out free souvenirs, but they told me to beat it. I'm playing. like, hey, can I just go rummage around in one of those trucks back there? Like, that's all I need. Just give me 10 minutes. Anyway, so that's cool, JB, man. That's awesome, dude. I mean, you and I have talked on in the group and stuff, so I know who you are and everything, kind of know your background. So, don't want you just, oh God, Hunter, what are we saying? These hands having Bro, that is such a good one. Oh, that's my funny. God, Hunter. Oh, that is fucking good, dude. All right. Anyway, so moving on to the next topic, we talked about the pre-trips and post-trips. So next thing I want to talk about that I think is it was becoming a really big thing when I was out there, because cell phones were really just becoming popular. When I started driving, smartphones weren't even out yet. And then, as I progressed in my career, pretty much everybody used a smartphone for everything in a truck. You know what I'm saying? So, but situational awareness, and and what I mean by that is everything around you. I remember when, again, I say this so much, but he was such an amazing person. Donnie Powell Jr., the best fucking trainer in the world. Man, he told me when you talk about situational awareness, it's not just what's in front of you and what you see out your mirrors, man. It's who's coming up the on-ramp. who's on next to you trying to get off on the off ramp. You know, can you see the traffic that's turning on the overpass and that they're going to get on the on ramp? You know, what's going on a half mile in front of you? You know what I mean? Like everything that is happening that you can see visually is what you need to be aware of, man, and understand how to react to it. You know, I scanned my mirrors constantly my entire driving career, man. And one of my big things when I was a trainer was guys who didn't pay attention, didn't have, you know, situational awareness. I used to use a trick my driver used to use, JB, and we would be coming up to a bridge and he'd be like, hey, what's that bridge clearance? You sure you can make it? And I'm like, I don't know, you know, but his thing was situation awareness. You should be reading every single sign, you know what I mean? The bridge signs, the things on the side of the road and stuff. And I think with cell phones and all the other stuff we got going on that, man, it does. You see most of the crashes now are due to people not fucking paying attention, man, being on their cell phones, or that guy a few weeks ago that was reaching for a bag of chips. I don't know if you guys saw that video, reaching for a bag.
Yeah.
Where he got
his whole shit over.
Yeah, you see that shit, man? It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, JB,
but it was like, it was crazy how. What?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, it's just how crazy, like, that dude, like, looking, like, right in the middle of the road, reaches back 2 seconds later in a ditch, flipped over. Like,
yeah, this stuff's crazy. I mean, I remember back in the day, like, just being young and dumb when you first get out here driving, like, you do some crazy stuff. I remember getting up out of the driver's seat, walking into the sleeper to grab something, and then walk back and sit down in the driver's seat. Like, we're talking like heading north out of Casper, Wyoming. You know what I'm saying? Like I had one of those janky trucks in the oil field where the only plug-in that worked to charge my cell phone was like where the microwave went. You know, so I had to get up and hit that cabinet right there, and then just sit back down. But yeah, you start doing those less and less as you get older. But like the situational awareness out here is crazy. Like I can literally drive down the road and predict every little thing that someone's fixing to do, like clockwork. This person's about to cut me off. This person's about to go 3 lanes over to hit the exit. This person's, you know, fixing to take the exit. You know, I can like, it's almost like being a psychic out here on the road. Like you can just kind of predict every little thing that's about to happen down to the T. So once you be out here long enough, like even like the crazy part, like if you ever like driven down the highway and you just zone out and it's like 25 miles later and you don't know how you got there, it's all muscle memory. You know, pretty much. And your brain is just like programmed and trained just to stay on that highway.
Dude, I so want to touch about what you just said, man, because I do this like every day, man. I just like you, I can predict what people are going to do just by the way that they drive. Like just you driving by me for 30 seconds and just knowing how four-wheelers are and how people in cars are. I'm the same way. I'll see someone cruising up and I'm like, watch this son of a bitch is going to wait till the last minute. They're going to try to get over. And they're going to be pissed when I put them into that suicide wall, you know, or you see the person hauling ass upside of you and it's like, watch, they're going to cut me off to take this exit right here. You know what I mean? And I do that same stuff, man. I'll tell you, JB, I think that you've been out here long enough, so you should be a million miler. I'm a million miler. But, you know, those are things that I think only real professional drivers do, man. And it's kind of like, it is like what you said. It is muscle memory in a way. You're just out there for so long. And I'll use this example. In the city that I live in, I go 2 different ways everywhere I go. I go one way when I go there, and I go another way when I come back. And the reason is because I know how all the lights in my town are timed. I know where all the traffic in my town is going to be at any given time of the day. So I you know, and on the way back, it's like those same lights or that same direction isn't going to work. And so, you know, I come back another way, and it's the same thing is with the driver or being a driver. You are out there so long, you just understand how the environment being on the road is and how drivers are, how other trucks are, dude. You know, I know you know this. You see those drivers come rolling up past you, you know what I mean? And they got their blinker on and stuff. And then you're like, man, you can just tell by how fast they're going. You know what I mean? It's like, watch, this is going to be one of those dumbasses because he's got a line of traffic behind him. He's going to try to take my front bumper off to get in front of me so he can stop looking like an idiot. You know what I mean? So dude, I've never had someone else like actually say that, bro. Not that I thought I was the only one, but it's good to know.
The funniest is when I'm driving in the car with my wife, and I'll be like, she'll hear me just start mumbling under my breath, and it's because I'm just bitching about everybody around me and what they're do.
I'm the same way, man. I am, dude. And even though I know they're going to do it, it aggravates me more when they do it. It's because like I knew you were going to fucking do that. You know what I mean? It's like, you son of a bitch.
I just get ahead of myself. If you're going to do something dumb, just do it. I'll slow down a little bit. I'll let you go. Like, it just ain't worth getting in an accident.
No, man. You know, you're right. It's not. And on the slowdown thing, there's another thing that I want to say as far as like situational awareness, man. You know, you drivers out there, man. You see someone coming up next to you, and you're doing 65, and Gizmo just left. He'll be back in a minute. Anyway, you see someone doing, you know, you're doing 65. You see someone coming next to you doing 65 and a half, man. You know, hey, situational awareness. You know, you see there's a line of traffic. You see that driver struggling. Like, you know, I mean, slow down, let that person over. I think, like I said, that goes into it, you know, paying attention to everything that goes on around you. Don't be an asshole to somebody when you notice that something is about to happen or going on that you could help prevent. You know, you being out there is not just about your safety. It's about everybody's safety around you. Oh, Gizmo said he'll be right back. BRB, yep. OMG, TTYL, bye. My
wow.
Before you move on,
I wouldn't do that again.
My wife has a friend. Her name is Iris, and that is how she says bye, dude. And it cracks me up every time. She's like, bye.
Dude, that's so annoying.
Anyway, so yeah, man. You know, there's Gizmo. I want to give Gizmo a chance to talk.
Gizmo,
hey everybody.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing very good.
Are you?
Good week. What can I say?
Did you get your food?
I did, man. I got some Caniac combo from Cane's, man. Right here.
Cane's. Oh yeah. My son loves Cane's. I'm not a fan of them. I can find better chicken.
It's good. So what's going on? What's
much, man. Yeah, we were talking. Obviously, we're talking safety, but we were talking situational awareness. And JP and I were you know, talking about, you know, scanning your surroundings. Yeah. You know, being aware of everything that's going on and such. You know, around the truck. You know, is there anything that is a former driver and a current CDL holder that you want to add on that?
Yeah, you got to be aware of your surroundings, especially truck stops and rest areas. You know, there's a lot that can happen in a truck stop. People can back over your hoods, back into your trailer. I don't like truck parking and truck stops personally. Same goes with the pickle parks. You know, especially when you get further back east, you see they're just overflowing onto the interstate. Plus, you know, in this day and age, it's changed from when I was a driver. And I don't trust anybody anymore, especially on the road. There's people out there that will hurt you, you know?
They ain't lying. There's a lot of idiots out there.
There, and I didn't think about the truck stop thing, man, when it comes to safety stuff. You know, I mean, I could see that point. I had a habit when I drove, man. I always started my day early so I could end my day early because, again, JB, to touch on what you're saying, bro, like I knew like I need to be stopped at a truck stop by like fucking 3 p.m. You know what I mean? Like if I don't, there's not going to be anywhere to park. And if there is, I'm waiting for a shower. Like, so it goes back to that, what you talked about, like you can see the future. You know what I mean? It's like,
you know that all across the country. I know every single state I'm in, but every city I'm at, I know what time I need to be shut down because you kind of know the area and how quickly things fill up.
Yeah. You know, so I guess on that point, you know, situational awareness even extends, you know, way past the hood of your truck, you know, being aware of the shippers and receivers that you're going to, you know, I said when I started driving, and I know when Gizmo drove, smartphones weren't a big deal. JB, same thing with you, because you and I've been in this industry. I've been in it 16 years. You've been in it 15. So, but I mean, my point was I used to call shippers, man, and make sure I got directions and asked, hey, is there anything that I need to avoid, when I come there? Same thing with receivers, and knowing where you're going to stop your truck. There's places you don't want to stop. Atlanta, I'd never, not a once, ever stopped in Atlanta. I'll actually tell you a quick story. The one I went to Atlanta when I was at Night Refrigerator. They had a small shitty ass yard. I think it was Forest Hill, Georgia. It's like it's by the airport in Atlanta. But anyway, dude, went over there. First time there. The terminal was right here, and then there was a McDonald's about a block away. There was a Home Depot in between that, and then there was a gas station on the corner where the highway was. And I went to McDonald's, got something to eat, was walking over to the convenience store to get some Gatorades. And at that Home Depot is one of the ones where everybody stood out front of it, wanting work and stuff. You know what I mean? And dude, I was an idiot. But back in the day, man, I had just got out of the military when I worked for Night, man. So I was still buff and lean, and I was a fucking big bad killing machine still. And dude, I was wearing my 3 silver chains, my freaking Echo watch, and all this stuff, dude. You know what I mean? Like a fucking idiot. And these guys approached me, man, and where they were like, "Hey, will you go buy us some beers?" Like, they didn't try stealing my shit, but they were like, "Hey, would you go buy us some beer?" And I was like, "No, I won't buy you no beer, but I'll buy you a Gatorade." And I was totally fine with that. You know what I mean? It's like, A, I didn't want these 30 fucking guys to beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean? And B, like it was hot outside. But anyway, dude, I went to the store, got them Gatorades, came back, gave it to him. He opened it up, and the guy opened it up, saw where Gatorades, and threw those motherfuckers, dude. And then he tried fucking grabbing me, bro. And I'll never forget that shit, man. Like, instinct just kicked in. I kicked that dude in the fucking ball so fucking hard and just leaned in his ball, dude. And I said, dude, it was like 30 or 40 people there, man. I'm serious. And dude, and I fucking bolted and ran to the McDonald's like a little bitch.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Heard of them stories where dudes get snatched up walking out the truck stop. One dude got snatched outside of Church's Chicken one time, and they robbed him and drove around with him for like 24 hours, hitting up ATM machines.
Really?
Yeah. It's like half the time it's like, screw looking professional out here. I'm gonna look disheveled and homeless when I get out of my truck. That way nobody wants to rob me.
That's nuts, man. So, but that's a good thing, man, about the truck stops, Gizmo. Being situationally aware of those, man, is knowing where you're going to stop. That's a personal safety thing. And I think
can you carry if you drive truck?
Yeah. No. Yes. It's a fine,
technically.
It's a fine line, man. There's drivers that have done it. Here's where drivers are fucking stupid. And as someone who has their or I say has, and I'm waiting on to come in, their concealed license, the thing they do is these drivers don't pay attention to what states they're going through with these firearms.
Yeah. Does it matter per state? Like,
it does.
Like if I'm in Tennessee, I don't have to have a concealed license.
Well, I don't have to have one here, but so I'll touch on this. Open or permitless carry is not what everybody thinks it is. You still cannot carry in certain places without a license. There are places here in Texas, they're called 30-06 and 30-07 laws, where they define where you can carry permitless and where you can carry with a license. And I'll tell you, it is worth getting the concealed license. It also provides you extra protections, especially in the point situation we're talking about right now. When you're licensed in one state, you just because you can legally own a firearm doesn't mean shit to every state. That doesn't mean anything. But when you're licensed to carry a firearm, like in Texas, I can go to like 30 something other states and I'm fine. I don't have to worry about how I carry some instances I do, but point is, if I got pulled over there in a truck and I gave them my concealed handgun license, they would probably let me fucking go. But there's been guys that have been arrested for it, man, for carrying a firearm across state law, unlicensed firearm or whatever it is across state law.
I mean, if it's unlicensed, there's a difference there. But I mean, like, that's that's your office, man. I don't know. I would imagine.
I mean, to some people, it's your home, and you want to protect it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Like,
trust me, I'd
yeah.
love to carry, but there's just too much red tape when it comes to everything out here in different states.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess if you get like a
Because
backhaul
you got to
or
also
something,
think if you make one wrong move to another state, you could lose your right to carry altogether. Like,
Yeah,
I'd rather not just lose it. Period.
Hey,
So,
legally.
tell him, JP and Gizmo, all you got to do is get your ass at one of them old school tire thumpers. Motherfucker, come walk around.
look, I got a hammer at my side door. Don't come mess with me.
Fuck they ass.
I don't thump. I smash. I'll wreck it, Ralph, your ass.
Dude, one of those batons, yeah. Dude,
Oh, yeah. And these are illegal in a lot of states as well. But
that's what I said.
as far as to carry them in your truck, Oklahoma, we're open carry state. You can carry as long as it's not designated a gun-free zone, and you're not a felon. You
Yeah,
can
but
pretty much carry a gun wherever the hell you want to.
I mean, yeah, and
except
when you say that, you mean like a church or like big events or like a prison or
Well, I mean, government, like schools.
yeah.
Some places are designated gun-free zones, like the convention center. The state fair was a gun-free zone, supposedly, but there were shootings. You know, the further back east you go, as far as into the Northeast, that's where your rights to carry a firearm are eroded. That in California.
Yeah.
So either way, getting off topic, situational.
I mean, that's safety. That's safety, baby.
That's safety, brother.
No, it is. That's why I said. I mean, I'm just saying, like, going on the law stuff. But it is, man. You know, personal safety.
Bring us up to the next point, brother.
Yeah. So situation awareness comes into everything. Driving down the road, where you're going to stop. You know, protecting yourself personally.
Right.
Here is one of my most favorite things to talk about, or I should say, teach. Backing. Man, dude. Let me tell you, I will say that backing is probably one of, if not the hardest skill to master as a driver.
What is the goal? The stickers that they have.
Oh, get out!
I seen one of them the other day, dude. After we had talked about it a few weeks ago, I was like, "Yo,
nobody ever does it anymore. And they're idiots." I'll tell you what. I will hold up. I will hold up I-10. I will hold up the Katy fucking freeway, the largest interstate in the world. I will hold up Katy freeway if I have to back a fucking truck somewhere. You can kiss my ass. I am not giving up my license or risking anyone's safety or my safety because your ass is impatient. I'm gonna take all day to back this truck if that's what it takes.
Unless you're at Andrew's spot and then you get the cops called on you.
That's right. Oh my god, dude. Oh man, Andrew, I love it. So we talk. I'm so glad you brought that up. Hunter and I both share a customer. We deal with the guy. I do his traditional truckload LTL stuff like that, and Hunter does his drayage stuff. Well, his facility, guys, I should pull it up on Google Maps, but it is the easiest back, JB and Gizmo, like for real. The road it's off of is small, but his parking lot is wide enough and deep enough. Dude, you just hoop in that motherfucker and do a slight angle back, almost a straight back. Bro, I sent a truck in there 2 weeks ago, and he took so long to back, somebody called the cops, and the cops had to direct traffic. My customer calls me, and he's like, "Rob, you'll never believe this." I was like, "What?" He's like, "This fucking idiot that you sent me, the cops just got called." And I was like, yeah, man, he's blocking the entire street. He's been blocking it for 40 minutes. I'm like, oh my God.
That's
just funny as fuck though, dude. Because like same shit happened with one of my drayage carriers the week before. Andrew, dude, he's just like, I don't know what's up with this driver, man. You just can't get in here.
Dude,
there's something else going on out there that we don't know.
I hate it when drivers can't get in dock doors or park at a truck stop. Like if you take anything away from being a new driver in trucking, is for the love of God, do the goal. Get out and look. I can't tell you how much that saved me from backing into another trailer or a truck, or just getting a perspective of what you need to look at. Like that's like so important out here. I've had one of the biggest things that irks me is one time I was in Sparks, Nevada, watching these two guys try to back into a spot, and I'm sitting there watching them. They're like 5 spots down. And if I had to just get pissed off and walk over there, I'm like, "Hey man, how long you been driving?" That's the first thing I ask him, because this guy's sitting behind him and he's trying to direct him. I was like, "Get on your cell phone. You both have cell phones, right? You get on your cell phone and he gets on his cell phone, and you back each other up and direct each other into the spot. You're back here with no cell phone trying to wave your hands at night with no flashlight. He can't fucking see you. I know he can't see you. He ain't paying attention to you. He's trying to do his own thing, but communicate. Get on the phone. You know, I don't understand that shit.
Nobody wants to ask for help.
No, they don't. And then I had a
Too
guy
humble.
one time, a poor Schneider driver, try to blindside back to me next to a dock. I blew my horn because he was about to hit me. I got out, went over to him, bless his heart. 6'3", 400-pound motherfucker goes up to your door. It's like, "Hey man, get out of your truck right now!" Like I'm about to beat his ass or something. I was like, "All right, I got to calm down a second. How long you been driving?" "This is my first day." I was like, "All right, man, let me see. You see all this space out here? You got like a whole football field. Why the hell are you blindside backing next to me? Pull up over here where you can see. You don't do this. You never blindside back unless it's your only option." Oh my God, it kills me.
JB, where you from, dude?
Originally from Texas, and I live in North Carolina.
Where in Texas, baby?
Midland, Texas, born and raised.
Oh, where? I'm in Killeen.
That's
but
Texas.
Yeah.
my trainer that I was talking about, Donnie Powell Jr. He's from Midland, Odessa, and my brother used to work out there. He's a petroleum engineer. He used to work for I can't remember the name of the company, but yeah, that is in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know?
JB, did you go to Permian?
I did not. I was actually Lee High School Rebels. Of course, it's not called Rebels no more. It's called Legacy, I think.
I bet they're not. I bet they're not.
Yeah, they're no longer the Rebels.
Dude, I couldn't even get it out. I was like, I bet they fucking called that no more.
Oh, 100%. I took an opportunity when we were talking about backing up, like some of these places where you have multiple trailers in a yard. Like I did this as a rookie. 6 months into getting just my permit, I backed up 2 of our trailers and put them side by side. Well, not literally side by side, but enough space for a trailer in the middle. And I practiced blindside backing. I practiced pulling up and straight backing, angle backing, 90 degrees, every which way you could think of. And I did that every day, every opportunity that I had where I could go out there and work with those trailers and move them. Just take the small opportunities to practice, because practice makes perfect. You get better and better each time you do it. So don't get discouraged because you suck right out the gate, but you keep practicing and you'll get it down.
Even the best sucked at some point, man.
Dude, I was horrible when I first started. My first day out, I almost dropped a trailer. So, and what's stupid is because the dude backed up to it. I rolled the landing gear up, walked back up to the 5th wheel pin, and pulled it. And then he got ready to pull out from underneath it. And I was like, wait, I fucked up.
Try didn't do that again.
Went behind
I've noticed in the truck stops, there's a lot of crazy shit going on. People pulling pins, siphoning gas or diesel. You're really going back to your surroundings when you're doing your pre-trips in the morning, and you take notes. I mean, you've got to watch it, especially in these truck stops, because you don't know who you're parked next to.
Yeah.
And if you turn on that radio, piss the wrong person off, they're going to come knocking on your door. And they won't even say anything. They'll just pull your pin.
Yeah.
Would you say a rest stop? Would you say a rest stop safer than a truck stop? Or like a rest?
Man, I used to run a lot of California, and one of the things I used to do was I'd find a get off ramp somewhere secluded, Walmarts, places that nobody else is going to mess with me. If they do park next to me, there's a reason they're parking next to me. They're parking next to me to get away from like the the Flying J, or places like that. Again, doesn't matter where. Check your surroundings out, because let's say I park next to you, Pedro, and you and Dre are running together, and me and Dre have had words before for whatever reason. We're all working for the same company, but you whip in there, you go in to do your thing, Dre comes out and pulls my kingpin as a joke. Well, you guys get up and leave. I get up, boom, trailer comes undone. Why? Because I didn't take the time to check my kingpin. That's something everyone should be doing every time they do a pre-trip.
All right,
Just
so
For the record, I would never do that.
no, and
I'm
Gizmo,
sure you would.
I want you to talk about backing, Gizmo. That's what we're talking about. Backing.
Yep.
Backing. Do you have any tips on backing?
Get out and look. And don't be one of those assholes that you see playing cowboy that opens up his door, puts his leg on the output on the step.
I'm so about to say something about that shit.
Oh man.
Oh, you're gonna hate me, bro. Oh, you're gonna hate me when I say what I gotta say.
Oh, I kick the door open, but I'd stay in my damn seat. You get these.
I've
old
seen
boys
cats
that-
that done that. Dude.
Well,
Yeah.
It's wild, but if it works.
I'll say, obviously we've all said get out, talk about getting a look. I really think that is the most important thing there is. I'm serious, dude. It is, man. Get out.
I'm not laughing at you, Rob. I'm not laughing at you.
Well, I never had any problems backing. I picked it up pretty quick. But you never know, man. I mean, there were times I'd be so tired, it would take me a little bit to back in. And I was always one that I would get out and look. If you're not looking, you're going to hit somebody, you're going to hit something. And, there's yard dogs, and you give them to the yard dogs. Even sometimes the yard dogs have problems backing into holes with certain types of trailers.
Very true. So, anyway, get out and look, man. I mean, I will say that is like the most important thing. And I also want to tie in situational awareness to when it comes to backing. Again, my trainer taught me that when you pull up to a spot that you're going to back into, whether it's a dock or in a truck stop or wherever, when you're pulling up through there, pay attention to everything. Where are the trucks lined up? Is one truck pulled further out than the other? What's the trucks on the other side? What does that look like? Is there enough room for you to do an angle back, to do a straight back? Is there someone behind you that maybe you need to stop and block that spot so they don't take it? There's a lot of stuff that goes into backing properly. And I think that a lot of people, it's very intimidating, especially when you're a new driver and you're around other drivers in backing. And I want to take a second to touch on this. If you're one of those drivers that sits on your fucking CB and talks shit about another driver having a problem backing a truck, you're the fucking problem out there. You're the one that's got the problem, not them. Because you as a veteran seem to have somehow magically forgotten that you were on day one on the job too, and other people were on the CB talking shit about you while you were sitting there stressed out trying not to hit something to back your truck up. So I will also
that you never get stressed out when you're backing. I mean,
it's a new driver, you do, man. It's a new driver.
There's no reason to. If you're taking your time, even if it takes you 50 goddamn pull-ups, 50 pull-ups to get it back in there, you got it in. That's the only you're the only person that it really should matter to. You're safe. You're in your hole now. Now you can get offloaded or whatever else. To hell with those monkeys and whoever's, being
He's talking about me.
All those Rambos, they get them. Oh, check this guy out. He came back for shit. Man, fuck you.
I don't like that either.
Seriously. Boom. Double fingers.
I always got out, man. And again, it all goes back to the trainer I had, man. I had a really good trainer. He taught me how to be a professional driver, not a steering wheel holder, not a trucker, a professional driver. You know, he taught me how to be courteous to other people out there and understand that, you know, dude, not everybody can drive a truck the way somebody else can and back the way they can. But either way, to keep touching on backing, get out and look things, situational awareness. You know, when you're pulling up to wherever you're going to back, pay attention to everything that's going on around you. And I don't know about other people, but I have one trick that I did that I used pretty much my entire career, and it actually came from almost taking off a guy's mirror at the fucking Kroger in Keller, Texas. Kroger in Keller, Texas, I hate you. Do something with your damn shitty dirt lot that you make all the drivers park in. It's really crappy that you're a multi-billion-dollar company. You can't even afford to freaking pave a lot where trucks are. If you've ever been to the Keller Kroger distribution center, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about too.
It's deep-seated hatred right there.
Dude, let me tell you, bro, there are holes so big in that thing, it'll swallow a VW bug, JB. I swear to God.
Damn.
Dude, I'm serious as a heart attack. It is, and it has been that way. Dude, when I drove for Night Refrigerated, it was that way. And when I stopped driving for Continental Express, it was that way. And that was a span of like 13 years. So that's how bad it was. Anyway, one of the tricks that I had is if I was able to, which 99% of the time I never backed into a dock with my doors open. I always backed into them with my doors closed. And then I pulled up and I opened my doors up as long as there was room to do it. And the reason I did that was I was backing into that Kroger, man, when I was working for Lisa Motor Lines, first company I ever drove for. And the wind, dude, caught my trailer door when I was backing, and it hit it just enough that and JB, what do you haul, JB? You an open deck or what?
Dry van.
Okay, so well then you'll get this. Dude, it slammed the door against the trailer, and the chain came off the latch. And, you know, because it didn't have tension on it. And the trailer door swung open. And, you know, luckily I always kept my CB on. And the guy next to me, you know, got on there. He's like, hey, FFE, because we pulled FFE trailers. Hey, FFE, you're about to hit me with your door. And then luckily, you know, I didn't hit him. But he's the one who taught me that trick. He said, hey, man, I've been out here, I don't know, however it was, a long time. He said, what I do is when I back into a dock, I back in with my doors closed. And then I pull up and I open them and just straight back. He said to prevent exactly what just happened to you. So that was a little trick that I had. And to touch on what Gizmo said, I am one of the guys that hangs out my truck. I don't get out and step on the step. I think that's pushing it. That's a little dangerous because if you lose your step, bro, fuck hitting somebody. Like if you get rolled over by 12,000 pounds of front end of truck, you're not going to have a good day. But I do open my door and I lean out and, and I back up and I'll tell you, hold on, Gizmo. I'll tell you why I do it. We're about to move on. Is I learned how to do that when driving a truck with stacks, because if you've ever drove a truck with stacks, you know, those mirrors, man, once you turn to a certain angle, you lose all visibility. And so I learned that driving a Peterbilt 379, man, to open that door and hang out. And up till the day I stopped driving, I did that, dude. I honestly liked it better because mirrors lie to you. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking out with your own eyeballs, like your depth perception is like spot on. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, neither here nor there. Next thing, well, we kind of talked about distracted driving, I guess. JB, when you and I were talking about situational awareness stuff, weather. That's another important talk that I want to talk about. Who wants to take the lead on talking about weather? And I mean all kinds. High winds up when you're on the northern plains and stuff like Wyoming and all that, and even in Kansas. The snow, hard rain, all that stuff. Who wants to take a charge on that? Gizmo, I think you, because I can see you itching.
Oh, gee.
We're
getting
never mind.
Winter driving first off. You've always got to worry about the wind on 25. You've always got to worry about, and down there on 10. You know, coming out of California, going into California. With winter driving coming on, they're predicting a very bad winter this year. So make sure when you're also, you should be doing this every day, but especially in the wintertime, drain those cans. Get all that moisture out, because the last thing you want to do is to be going down the road or try pulling out of a parking spot. If you're up in the Dakotas or Nebraska for that matter, it gets cold up there in the wintertime. And your brakes freeze up, good luck. That's going to take a little bit to get them unstuck. Where do you run at, JB? What areas?
We run all over.
Okay. Have you been keeping up with the regulations for vans? What areas of the country are requiring that you get the snow off the top?
That I'm not 100% sure on. I know a lot of places like in the Northeast are kind of requiring that.
Okay.
But I'm not 100% sure everywhere.
Dude, hey, touch on that a minute. I heard someone mention something about that, but I didn't know that like that was an actual like real fucking thing. Are you serious?
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania and New York are cracking down pretty hard on that.
Yeah.
I don't remember for sure.
I understand it, man. I know even as a driver, bro, I've been behind trucks, man, and you know, they catch a tree branch or a good wind, and you know, you catch a fucking trailer full of snow coming at the back of me. So I bet that's why, huh? Is that why they're doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But see, I don't see how they can make that like crack down on law wise when how the hell am I supposed to get up there and clear the snow off? I ain't got a ladder. I can't go to the shop. The shop ain't gonna do that shit. Now, if they built, say, a lot of these places have snow removal devices on site, but they don't let you use them. They let their company trucks use them. But what about us? You know, so I think that if they're going to enforce something like that, DOT needs to build one of those devices in a weigh station to allow us to go in and pass through and clean off the top of the truck. Then I can understand writing us a ticket if we passed a certain point and we didn't stop and use it.
Dude, can you imagine? I already know what's going to happen here. Flying all the big four truck stops, they're going to install these on the CAT scale. You go across the CAT scale, and then they charge you $5 for it.
I'm surprised they haven't already.
You know, dude. You know, someone's going to corner that. Someone is going to.
Another way to nickel and dime us.
$3 a truck to scoop the snow off your truck, bro. Oh my God, Hunter, you don't understand. You've never been out there, but I'll tell you, dude.
Dude, I lived in Montreal. I know about all that shit.
No. But what I'm about to say is the trucking industry, the businesses that service it, bro. They Are
we talking about like CAT scales?
No, yeah, they
charge like $20, but then my trade carriers charge me $200.
Yeah, what I'm saying is stuff like that, like CAT scale and these truck stops. I mean, you know, dude, when I first started driving, it was like $7.50 for a CAT scale, and it was 50 cents to or $1 or whatever to rescale. And now it's, I don't know, it's like $13. And you know,
inflation, right?
Huh? Yeah,
inflation, right?
You know what's changed on a CAT scale? Not a fucking thing.
Exactly.
All right. I got two other drivers here. I want this in writing, in video, in person. How long does it take you to get through a scale on average?
What, a CAT scale?
Yeah.
Probably less than 5 minutes. That's just giving a solid conservative number. Yeah. Really, realistically, probably like 3.
So it's not going to take 2 hours.
Nah.
For like a light scale, heavy scale.
Yeah. No, dude. All you do is you roll across the scale. There's a box with a button. You press the button. They ask you what your truck number is, what your company name is, and then they say, okay, you're good to go. You pull off the scale, and most time drivers pull around. They pull through the fuel island. They pull up if they're not getting fuel, and you go inside and get your fucking scale. It does. He's right. It takes, dude. If there's nobody there, like JV said, 3 minutes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but you have the CAT scale. You just do it on your phone. On the
that's right. That's right, with the Catskill app.
You're
You're
telling me
right.
there's
you're
an
right.
app? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
email and everything.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, dude. It takes no time at all, man.
I'm about this. Ooh.
So either way, weather. JB, what do you got to say about weather, man? Safety tips for weather.
I mean, if it's bad enough that you got to put chains on, you don't need to be driving for one in the snow. Preferably the weather I hate driving in the most is heavy rain. I really can't stand. I'd rather be driving in snow than heavy rain. You know, people drive slow. You can't see. You know,
Can't see at all.
Thing.
I would
slow
rather
down and drive. They still drive 65 miles an hour, even though it's pouring rain. Totally unsafe. But
that doesn't bother me, JB. That doesn't bother me. What used to really bother me was ice.
yeah,
Give me all the rain, give me all the snow, but ice, because I mean, it's not so much my deal. It's everyone else around me that's going way too fast for the conditions.
oh yeah, 100%.
And black ice, I mean, you never know when you're going to pop on it. Bridges and overpasses, of course, everybody knows bridges and overpasses are an ice magnet. But
I'll say this just to cut in real quick. I've hit more ice on regular roads than I have on bridges. Like growing up in Georgia, going the back roads, dude, where the trees overhang and it doesn't melt during the day. Yeah, that's what kills. I haven't hit it on a bridge.
Here's a test, Gizmo and JB. As a driver, what do you do when you come up to a bridge or an overpass if you think there's ice on the road?
You don't want me to answer this in the owner-operator way.
No, I mean, answer it for real. Like, what's your answer?
It's your time to shine.
How do I know if there's ice on it or not? Is somebody crashed up there? I mean,
No, I'm like I said, you're assuming the conditions are right.
Assuming.
The conditions are right. There's moisture in the air. There's signs on the highway saying icy conditions are possible. Like you're assuming the presumptive evidence is there that it is possible that overpasses and bridges are frozen. So if you're rolling down the highway, what do you do when you come up to a bridge or an overpass?
White knuckles in a prayer.
That's what I was going to say. I just try to slow down as much as possible and just prepare for it when I get there. Normally, if conditions are this bad, I won't be on the road. So, like, normally by the time I see a first couple of guys that have done spun out and hit the ditch, we're finding somewhere to park. And when we're pulling the brakes, we're done for the day until we get to daylight. Most of the time, I avoid it altogether. I don't drive at night when it's snowing. So I won't put myself in those situations. Now, have I been in those situations? Yes. I just slow down and take it easy. That's all I can do. So, I mean, I've been out in 70 in Colorado one time. We did get stuck on some ice on a bridge, and we had trouble getting going. I had to put auto socks on. But once you hit that shit and you can't get going, you're pretty much a sitting duck. So
yeah, you're right. Gizmo, what's your answer?
Well, am I behind?
We need to get the Jeopardy music. We need to get that one.
No, I have a question.
Not just for you, Gizmo. Not just for you. There's not just for you.
Well, I mean, I go across the bridge. Number one, I've already been looking around me to see if I can see vehicles going past me or in front of me. I'm looking at their tires. If it's showing spray, it's good to go. Mash up.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you're not seeing spray come off those tires, you better hold on.
Dude, I totally forgot about that tip. That is a super good tip right there. You're right. If you don't see spray, then that's a fucking good one, Giz. Dude, that's a solid one. I forgot about bringing that up. That's a good one, man.
Especially winter driving. You know, they've got those thermometer things you can stick on your dash and then run it out. I had one of those. Now, granted, it was over 20 years ago, but it seemed to work and give me an idea, a general idea of what the air temperature was out there. And if it was close to freezing, I would always slow down, because not that I want to be a hazard, but you never know when you're going across the bridge and they're saying possible ice, and the cars around you have been just, easing on along. My advice would be to slow down a little bit, because it's better to be safe than end up in the ditch. There's too many times I've watched people whoosh right by me when I was a driver, and then I don't know, 10, 15 miles down the road, they're off
right.
in the ditch. And I'm like, you fucked up.
The crash hurts a lot less at probably 20 miles an hour than it does at 65. So
I want to touch on Hunter. What Hunter said. The people he's talking about, Hunter, those are the fucking FedEx and Amazon and the double pulling motherfuckers. That, dude, y'all know what I'm talking about. JB, dude, when it gets nasty outside, the first people you see in the fucking ditch are FedEx, UPS, Amazon, all of those clowns. Like, these are the first people you see in the ditch, man. Either way, what I was looking for is take your foot off the gas.
Yeah. Take your foot off the gas. Yeah. I mean, if you feel that trailer, the worst thing you're going to want to do if it's going around in any direction is hit the brakes. That's the worst thing you're going to want to do. You're going to want to accelerate and pray to God you get that damn trailer flat back behind you.
I had that exact what you're talking about. I only had it happen to me one time, and I'll tell you what, like, it was the scariest moment of my driving career, and it was actually right near the end of it. Last time I drove, I was on a Dan and Yogurt account, and I hauled empty vats from Dan and Yogurt in Fort Worth up to Plymouth, Indiana, and then I took loaded vats of fruit back down to Fort Worth. Plymouth, Indiana is like all the way in the northern part of Indiana, like fucking, I mean, right below Michigan, way the fuck up there. And anyway, I used to leave, like I said, I drove early in the morning. So I used to leave out at like 4:30 in the morning so I could stop at like 3. And man, I was coming down into Indianapolis. I was just getting into Indy. And dude, I saw this car in front of me start to spin out. And I was like, holy shit, like I didn't even realize that it was possibly icy outside because everything looked dry. Like I've been cruising 67 miles an hour. Everything was fine. So I took my foot off the brake, and it just so happened that person spun out on the bridge that I was about to go over. I took my foot off the gas, came on the bridge, dude, and my trailer, like I felt something weird about my truck. As soon as I hit that bridge, I was like, something doesn't feel right. And I was heavy. I was 78,000 pounds, which JB and Gizmo, the heavier you are, the better off you are when it comes to inclement weather. The more weight that you've got on the ground, the more traction that you have. Anyway, dude, I looked in my mirror and I could see the tail of my trailer start to come around on my driver's side. And I was like, holy fuck, and I didn't gas it, but I started doing defensive maneuvers, you know what I mean? And trying to move my tractor over to try to catch my trailer for it to come back. Luckily I did it. I tell you, it probably only took about 5 seconds, but I'll tell you that 5 seconds felt like fucking 30 minutes. Like it was the scariest moment, dude. Cause like I said, I was doing 67, man. I mean, I was just fucking cruising 78,000 pounds. All of a sudden this car in front of me spins out. They saved it, like they didn't wreck, but they spun out, and then man, it was just crazy. It was one of those moments that I was prepared as a driver, but I wasn't prepared for it to happen that fucking fast. Like I was getting ready to be prepared, and then it said, no, you're going to be prepared now or you're going to die. So but before we move on, I will say my tips for driving in the weather. I love what JB started off with. I always had the same rule, JB, that if it's bad enough to put chains on, your ass shouldn't be driving. And if you're one of those drivers that say, oh, well, you may get caught in the situation, then you're not a good driver. because any driver worth their salt, even back in my day, we used to call the weather lines. Yeah, seriously. You fucking called every state that you were going through and you found out what the weather was, and then you continuously called it if you thought it was going to be bad. Or when you were in the truck stop, you watched the TV where they had the weather on. And so that way you're prepared and say, hey, look, I know it's about to be crap as soon as I get west of Denver. I need to stop somewhere east of Denver so I don't deal with this stuff. But I like to say that, JB. I never put chains on, bro. I almost did one time when I was coming out of Reno going into, or I was going across Donner Pass. They threw the chain law down. By the time I hit the summit, they threw the chain law up. Me and the two other guys I was rolling with said, fuck this, we're going outlaw style. we just went barefoot, dude, down the other side of Donner's Pass, man. But I like that. When I also want to touch back to what we talked about earlier about speed, man. Speed freaking kills, dude. In inclement weather, you know, whether it's ice or snow or bad rain or fog. Well, actually, I'll say I'm really bad about fog. I never slow down, but y'all should. Y'all should. You slow down the fog. But, you know, slow down, man. You know, match your speed to the conditions. And I'm not just saying, oh, well, I can only see 100 feet in front of me. I need to slow down. No. If it's snowing real heavy and you see snow starting to accumulate on the road and the tracks from the vehicles in front of you are no longer showing black like on the asphalt, it's just snow, you need to slow down, because I'll tell you a little something. Snow does not stay snow when you've got trucks and cars driving over it for 4 hours. It becomes compacted and then it becomes layers of ice. And so, you know, you need to keep your speed slow. And if you feel unsafe, pull over. I can't say that about enough things on the road. I think that's anything. Even if you're driving, it's perfectly sunshiny outside. Maybe there's just a lot of traffic and you're stressed out, man. You know, pull the fuck over, you know, especially in weather. If you do not feel you can handle the situation, pull over and get that truck off the road for your own safety and the safety of the others around you. I also would like to say this, because this happened to me as well. Drivers, be prepared for inclement weather, specifically for winter. I got stuck at a truck stop in Oregon, and the truck stop there, they literally shut the highway down. And dude, it was the entire interstate pulled off into one little podunk ass town with one small truck stop with a dirt lot. There were so many truckers there. The truck stop restaurant ran out of food. The McDonald's across the street almost ran out of food because we were there for 3 days. And mind you, we couldn't go nowhere, so nobody could come in to restock the stuff. So, man, make sure you guys have food out there. Make sure you have water, drinks, you know, toiletries, you know, ways to clean yourself and stuff. I don't think that people think about that when they think about inclement weather. You know, even in some of the hurricane situations, you know, I've heard of drivers getting stuck in places where there's hurricanes and they get shut down for a day or two, man, because it's flooded and they can't get out, you know, and what do you do, you know? So
emergency supply of water, emergency supply of food, something that you don't touch, you know, go pick it up now, get it ready in the truck, you know, canned goods, whatever you need, extra blankets. I rode on a truck one time where the heater broke. All of a sudden, one of the heater lines busted. I didn't have no heat. I had to go to the truck stop and get one of them little bitty heater fans and plug it in, and then I just layered blankets on top of me, bundled up like a damn caterpillar in a cocoon, trying to stay warm all night, freezing my ass off, you know. And it sucks, but you get through it. But always have extra stuff.
I had that happen too, JB, when I was in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'll never forget it. I was delivering to the Walmart up there, man, and it was the first time I'd ever been there. And it got down to 25 degrees, negative 25 degrees. I'm sorry, negative 25 degrees. And my truck was supposed to idle if the temperature dropped below 35, but something was wrong and it wouldn't idle, and my bunk heater wouldn't fucking work. So, dude, I had to do this. Dude, I put on my winter jacket, went inside, got a heated blanket, dude, and plugged that shit in. And oh my god, man, like, I would never forget that night, dude. I remember waking up the next morning. I was so fucking cold, and I kept waking up and turning my truck on. But like, dude, like it sucked. God, that sucked so bad, JB. Oh, I'll never forget that, man.
Yeah, every time you get in one of them situations, you'll never go through it again. Like, you'll always be prepared.
Yeah,
MREs,
the food stuff.
MREs. I don't know what you guys carry. I used to carry MREs for years. Just simply because of the fact, they're not very big. You can, get you a case, put it under the bunk just for that. I always took and packed more than I needed. I was long haul. I'd stay out 3-4 weeks at a time. And in the wintertime, you never know where you're going to end up if you're not buying or, preparing your routes. And as you said, there's been a lot of times when I was out and I played this stupid card and kept going when I shouldn't. And, you end up in some weird places if you don't heed the warnings. I've been in places that you pull off and
Is that you, Hunter?
What?
That's your TV, or is that yours? Somebody's got TV background. Oh, maybe JB. Maybe his wife's watching TV.
It might be. Hang on.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
Wait, JB, it's fine, man. It's fine. Don't
No,
make
she said it
me
wasn't her.
Do they? I haven't looked. Do they still have those little portable heaters that you can buy in the truck
They
stop?
do. They do.
Okay, carry a couple of those. I know they've come a
I
long
want to tell
way.
you what.
Technology, but you keep your food for the winter time, and don't mess with it unless you really need it. Because you never know when you're going to run into a situation like you had, Pedro, where, everything's gone. And
so I'll tell you, man, I don't know how you guys were as drivers. Me, I ate out of my truck from the day I started. I had my own truck to the day I got out of the truck. I had a fridge. I literally had a pantry in my truck, dry food, cold food. I had things that didn't have to be microwaved, even if it was cold food. And so, actually, I just talking about it. I thought about another instance, man, when I drove with US Express. I had to pick up from this place in the middle of fucking nowhere, West Virginia, dude. And you barely had phone signal. And I had to drop my trailer and wait. We were running ELDs, so I couldn't leave and drive the 15 miles into town to get something to eat. Nobody places would deliver out there because, back in the day, just for you young folks, Uber Eats and DoorDash didn't always exist. So, but I actually have the picture on my Facebook, man. Oh my God, it popped up like a month or two ago. I set and took, and this is an old Army trick. JB, I don't know if you're a veteran, but me and Gizmo are. Dude, Gizmo, I took a can of spaghetti and meatballs and a can of Beanie Weenies. How do you think I warmed those up, Gizmo?
Please tell me you used the motor.
Yes, yes, exactly. Dude,
I would do that in the oil field with I'd get like some burritos or something from the truck stop. They get cold. I go put them on top of the motor and let them heat up.
Dude, yes, that's exactly what I did, man. I took them, man, because the place we were at, man, like they wouldn't let you do anything. They had a I hate this shit. A porta potty for like 50 fucking drivers. Like, seriously? And dude, like no microwave, like dude, nothing. Just one of those type of shippers, JB, Gizmo. You guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, I ended up having to eat warm up a can of spaghetti and meatballs and Vienna sausage shits on top of my engine, man. But I was prepared though, man. I was prepared. Like, it's not like I thought that was going to happen, but because it did, I ate out of my truck. So I had food for me to freaking eat. You know what I'm saying? So, that stuff, it's really important, especially, when it comes to the inclement weather stuff. Our final little topic tonight, which will be great because we usually run about 2 hours on Friday and this should wrap it up perfectly. Safety technology. And what that includes is cameras in the truck, the outward and the inward facing. Also, I don't know if either of you guys have dealt with these. I know you've heard of them, but the mirror cameras. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
And ELDs and AI driver correction. And you, JB, I don't know if you've heard of this. Gizmo, I don't know if you have, but a few weeks ago, we touched on a safety topic. And I didn't know this, but there are now ELD systems out there that have AI in them. And when a driver does something that it deems unsafe, A, it will tell you about it, but B, it also advises the driver on what to do to correct the action in the future, you know, so forth, so on, which, you know, I mean, I kind of think is cool, but at the same time, it's like, well, you wanted to pay attention and they make a mistake. And then you're like, hey, watch this fucking screen right here while you're driving so we can tell you what you did wrong and how not to do it. But anyway, Gizmo, I'll start with you. What do you think about safety technology? You don't have to touch on everything that I just said. I was just giving those as examples of safety
I'm the
technology.
wrong fucking person you want to talk to about this. AI is, I mean, this isn't the fucking Terminator. All right. I guarantee that fucking AI can't back a truck up. I guarantee the AI can't put fuel in the truck. And I damn sure guarantee an AI can't go over Donner in the fucking winter time. What you're doing driving a truck, I'm going to tell you from an owner-operator standpoint. I sure in the hell don't want some camera looking at me, especially if I'm driving naked. And I do like to drive naked once in a while.
We're gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Sometimes I wish we could have like a 2-minute delay when we have Terry on. Oh,
Where's
man.
that warning buzzer to stop him from telling us that?
Oh no. Hey, hold on.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
I mean, seriously. I mean, why would an insurance company want to look at what I'm doing going down the road? Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be smoking cigarettes and just doing what I need to do. Just so what if I decide to, get up and go on the sleep while I'm going down the road at 80 miles an hour? I mean, but seriously, I just think it's that part of my privacy as a driver. Now, they are good when there's an accident involved. If you've got it facing out, you've got them on the mirrors, you've got them in front of the truck. They're very invaluable. I don't know how many times my drivers have gotten into an accident, and that video, people have a tendency to go, oh, well, maybe it wasn't my fault then. But I don't think they need to be watching the drivers. I think that's totally against, and it goes against everything they believe in. Oh, no, wait a minute. We're not going to go off on some wild rant. I'm giving my opinion about it. Now, the AI stuff.
On the chat message. I'm just messing with you, Gizmo. I'm just messing with you.
Well, I mean, seriously. AI is going to be taking away drivers' jobs eventually. And I've been in trucking my entire life. I still have my CDL. I haven't driven in 20 years, but I still have that ability. And I'll be damned if I want the government doing things that's going to put me, you, JB, Dre. Well, it might make Dre's job a little easier. But, that's just the way I feel about it.
All right. JB, as a fleet owner, man, I mean, really actually excited to actually hear your point on this, man. Touch on.
Oh, I can't wait. Gizmo's gonna hate me.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
used to
All
hate
right,
it.
so let's go through each one real quick.
Jerry.
So let's talk about the dash cameras for a second. So I came from US Foods, right? So part of my job as being a supervisor was actually monitoring the dash cams that came through on the computers. So we had inward facing and outward facing cameras. You would not believe the most horrific shit that I've seen a driver do going down the road. All right, from taking his eyes off the road, even like smoking a cigarette, getting a drink, staring at some hot girl beside him and whatever. Like there's awful things that truck drivers do down the road that makes you question whether or not you want that individual driving for you. So to give an example, and I'm anti inward facing cameras, by the way, just so nobody thinks that I'm pro cameras. I had a driver come up to me one time and he was like, man, why do these guys keep getting into accidents and this, that, and the third? Guess what happened 3 days later? Caught him on dash cam. He was climbing in the truck, messing with paperwork, put the truck in gear, get started the truck, put it in gear, lighting a cigarette, talking on his phone, driver door open, and the truck started creeping forward and he hit a yellow pole and ripped the tandems off the back of his tractor. Okay, clean off, sheared the bolts. And then he want to ask me 3 days prior to that why these guys keep getting into accidents. Because you're not paying attention and focused on the task at hand, which is doing your job and driving. You were smoking a cigarette. You didn't have the door closed. You didn't have your seatbelt on. You were fumbling with paperwork, trying to light a cigarette, and talking on the cell phone. So you were 100% distracted the entire time you were trying to do your job, and you caused the company a lot of money. You caused more manpower to come out there and get your load of groceries and go deliver it. Had to get that truck towed, money there, late deliveries, all that stuff. So I can see in hindsight why it's good to have an inward facing camera, but at the same time, it puts too much stress on drivers. I remember getting in my personal vehicle, and if I tapped the brakes too hard, I would look up at the rearview mirror in the car thinking it was the camera. Like you would literally have PTSD because this thing's constantly watching you, So
you're a fucking mess.
Yeah. So I got it from both ways. I prefer it to have an outward facing camera. And the reason I say that is because one, I think that protects you a little bit more with insurance. I wouldn't want an inward facing camera because you don't want them to know what your driver was doing prior to that. You would rather them figure it out from the telemetry from the vehicle or an ELD or something like that, but not have a camera looking at them. Because you can critique every little thing. Oh, I see your driver's eyes. It moved a millisecond to the left and he was distracted. But he has to check his mirrors. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you can have, like, all these insurance battles and arguments with cameras. Anybody want to say anything to that? And I'll go on to the next topic.
I do. I
Okay.
do want to say something to that. I will say this both as a driver, also as someone who is a transportation manager, and and that's it. Personally, I'm pro camera, man. I see the benefit of the inward and the facing, and I'll tell you this much right here. Drivers all talk about fucking privacy and all this watching your shit, dude. I cannot say this again and for the millionth fucking time. You cannot watch them live. That is not how the system works. For the love of Christ, please quit.
Yeah, I was never able to watch anybody remotely live, like Lytics and DriveCam. Like you couldn't see that stuff. I couldn't log in and watch you throughout the day.
Yes, it auto records and deletes like on 60-second or 90-second loops, and it only sends a video once you trigger an event, and everything is triggered by G forces. That's what it is. You brake hard, you turn hard. That's what triggers it. So, like, you cannot look at someone live. But I will say, I'm 100% for it because of actually something you just said, JB. I want to see what that idiot was doing inside that truck. I don't care what was happening outside. If he could hit a vehicle, but I don't know if it was his fault or if it was the vehicle's fault. If it was a parked car, then it's obvious. But otherwise, I want to see what they were doing. Were you crawling in your sleeper to get a fucking bag of chips? Were you digging in your fridge? Were you picking your nose and licking your boogers? Were you staring at a seat cover? And for y'all that don't know, a seat cover is driver slang for a hot chick in a car.
Damn it, I was supposed to mute you real quick. I'll let my wife hear that. No, I'm kidding. There's another thing too that I saw, like watching somebody fall asleep behind the wheel.
Oh yeah.
Is terrifying. And I watched that person hit a mailbox, and they didn't fire him right away. It's not until he did it again that he get let go. Like that could have been one instance too late to let somebody go.
So I'll tell you this, man. And I know I shouldn't have seen it, but the only reason I did is because I was pretty cool with the transportation manager. But I'm not going to name the company, but I used to work for 2 companies that did groceries. JB. One of them was McLean, which that's not the company I'm about to talk about, but the other one was a competitor of Cisco. We'll just leave it at that, okay? But
I know who.
But anyway, they had inward-facing cameras, and it was a team operation. One of the drivers had came in and said, "Hey, look, I did not get enough sleep. I ran a route earlier today on my day off, and you guys called me in to run this route, but someone else called off. I don't want to drive. I'm tired." And the other driver didn't have hours. Like, he didn't have hours at all. So they forced the guy to go out on the route because he had hours, even after he told them he was tired. And other drivers heard this. Now, they got about 40 miles from where their delivery was. He fell asleep behind the wheel, took the truck off the road, crashed. It literally, we didn't see this in the video, but because the camera went out, the wreck was so bad. But we all know what happened. It literally scalped him. He ran into a tree, and the windshield folded back, and he went forward, and it scalped his head. Now, I will tell you this. This is how amazing of a human being he was. Adrenaline was pumping. He didn't realize what had happened, but he pulled the other driver out of the sleeper and over to safety before the truck ended up catching on fire. Before he passed out from, obviously from blood loss. But
yeah,
I will say that inward facing camera, the company tried using it against him, but it actually helped him win the lawsuit because other drivers heard him say that he was tired. And if they only had that outward facing camera, they could have said anything. They could have said, "Oh, he was playing with his cell phone, whatever." But no, they watched him fall asleep behind the wheel of the truck and him go off the road, and he ended up winning a lawsuit. I mean, the dude was never able to drive again. Like, he ended up having a brain injury, which I have one from an accident, so I know that struggle. But so that inward-facing camera, it helped that driver in that instance. Helped him win something for himself. And like I said, to me, it's a safety thing, man. I want to see what you were doing that caused that accident. And if you weren't guilty, then that's great. But I don't want to have someone dangerous working for me. I'll tell you this right now. We just bought a new truck with the guy that I run a truck for, and the driver didn't hook up the camera. And I said, "Dude," he's like, "Well, I don't need it." I said, "I don't care what you need. It's not your fucking truck. I'm telling you to hook the camera up. I want to see what is going on if something happens." And and he's like, "Well, I'll get it done." I was like, "No, get it done now. I want it done." And also, it helped us with our insurance. But it's important to me, man. And I can see when Motive sends me alerts, even if it's a hard break, I watch that video because I want to see what my driver is doing. He's only been on the road a little less than 2 years. I was on the road 10 and a half years. I have 1 million miles under my belt. So I want to be able to coach and train this guy to teach him to be a better driver. And that camera helps me be able to do that. But anyway, the mirror cameras, JB, have you ever dealt with those?
I have not.
I have. They suck. You want me to tell you about them?
Well, I wanted to touch on what you said right there with Motive. I just recently started switching to Motive as our ELD, and I don't like the notifications.
We're leaving. We're leaving them.
You're leaving them?
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't like the notifications. I'm still trying to figure out a way to turn them off. I'm not gonna coach grown ass men how to do their job because I don't hire anybody that doesn't have at least 25 years or older and has 3 or more years of experience or more. So by that time, you should pretty much know how to do your job for the most part. So like say one night I had a guy, he was going through West Virginia. He's going down 77. It's curvy. I got an alert every single time he hit every single one of those curves in West Virginia. Like I get enough email notifications all day long. I don't need you harassing me because he's taking a curve or he's braking a little bit too hard.
Yeah,
so
Motive
that's
is
more
like
that.
Yeah, they are like that, bro. I will agree with you, man. When I get, like I said, I watch all of them, man. Every time I get him and stuff, I watch him, and I will say, like, he's got off an off ramp, was going, not dangerous fast, but just a little too fast, and had to kind of, break it a little bit, and so he could slow down. Like nothing. I was like, oh well, that's dangerous. He's an idiot, but I agree with you. I will say I slightly disagree with you on people having experience, because I will say that people get complacent and they think that, oh, I've been out here 3 years, been out here 4 years, I'm good. And you pick up bad habits along the way that you don't realize that you picked up. And again, I'm saying I'm a huge safety person, bro. Like I am. My trainer taught me to be huge on safety. I was a huge safety guy. Like I would tell my fleet managers, dude, fuck you. I'm not moving this truck because of this safety reason right here. And to me, it's important. And I think safety is one of those things that it is a constant learning thing. It is always trying to make yourself stay safe and make sure you continue to be safe and learn new tricks to help you do both of those. And, just like in any career, even as a broker, I've only been doing this for like 2.5 years, but, everyone think, oh, you should know what you're doing. But my boss coaches me every day, says, hey, man, you should try this, or you should do this, or maybe this will work better for you, So I can see your point, bro, but I don't know. I think safety is one of those things it's a constant deal, man. Because like I said, people get complacent and they think, I've been guilty of it. JB, you have, bro. You
100%.
You've been out there and been like, oh man, I know I shouldn't do this shit, but I've been out here 5 years, so I'm gonna do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things that I could work on as a driver, but I just don't. And I say 3 years or more, but I really got guys that have been working here a long time. Like I got a couple of old school guys. Like I'm not going to change their habits going forward. They're old. Like they're older than me. Yeah. And so you're not gonna get through to their thick skulls. Sometimes
they're like fucking Gizmo. They're so old. Their social security number is 1. No.
Ooh.
I want to
I had a birthday. I know I'm old as dirt. But,
All right. Before I touch on the camera mirrors or mirror cameras, I want to say, I do want to say this last thing to you, JB. And again, this is from someone that, even though I don't own the truck, I don't pay the bills. Like I run the operations for my buddy's little 2-truck fleet. And this is the way I look at it, man. Is even if they're owner operators, it's still your MC, it's still your insurance, it's still your customers, it's still your name on the line. If one of those drivers, not saying that they will, but if one of those people messes up, their license get dinged, but it's JB's insurance that's going to go up. It's JB's customers that's going to say, I'm not going to fucking deal with you no more. It's all of those things happen. So like I said, to me, again, man, I'm a big safety guy. Safety is a lot more than just crashes and speeding and tickets, man. It literally is something a driver has to eat, shit, and breathe every single day, every single moment that they are out there on the road. Because I'll say it again, you're in control of 75 feet and 80,000 pounds of rolling death down that highway. And one wrong move can be the difference between you getting home and other people getting home safely, or you killing 20 people. And I'm not over exaggerating. I mean, go look at some of the truck accidents. There have been trucks that have caused accidents where double-digit numbers of people have died. Matter of fact, there was one in Arkansas. I don't think a truck caused it, but there was a crash in Arkansas the other day, man, with trucks involved, and like 5 people died on a highway I've been on more times than I can count. So on the camera mirrors, I'll tell you this. I dealt with them one time, JB, and that was at US Express. I hated them. They're the most dumbest, trashiest, worthless piece of technology you could ever ask for. And the reason why is because they mess up, dude. It's technology, man. My camera, it didn't work half the time because the shell of it ended up getting this little itty bitty crack that I didn't even notice it was there. Condensation got inside the lens and fogged the whole fucking thing up. And even when it did work, when you're driving down the road, especially in the rain, and you got all that water coming up off of you, and dude, you can't see anything anyway. And
what exactly did those cameras do?
So they replaced the spot mirror on the front. You know what I mean? You have your main mirror on the door, but then you have your spot mirror. I don't know about you, but I'm one of them drivers. Like, I can't drive without a spot mirror on the passenger side.
Yeah,
Like, to
I
me,
gotta have my spot mirror.
dude, for real, huh? But it replaces that, and I mean, dude, again, like that is your probably one of your most critical mirrors. I mean, obviously your right side one is, but dude, like that thing's important for catching blind spot stuff, for backing, for all this stuff, man. It didn't have good readout in the dark. In the rain, it sucked. I had a Peterbilt 387, and where they put the camera, my fucking blinker bulb was like a foot behind it. So at night, all you saw was this big freaking orange glare. So yeah, I'm not a fan of them, and I will say they have them on like these Tesla trucks and all that crap. And I'm gonna tell you, man, even though I'm only 39, I'm an old head. I hate technology. I believe that technology it is undependable. It is not dependable. It is unreliable. And it can fail. And if you base your entire truck or operation or whatever it is around technology without any kind of analog backup, then you're a fool. I mean, and I use the Tesla trucks, these AI driverless trucks. I don't trust cameras. There literally was one of these AI trucks that got stopped in the middle of the highway because a bird shit on the camera. I mean, seriously, that's where we're at right now. Yeah, for real. I mean, like, stop, dude. You know what I mean? And like, I've seen other ones where you talked about going across Donner's Pass, Gizmo. They have these trucks driving in cold winter weather. Any driver who has been out there long enough knows that if you drive through snow, that buildup on your mirrors, your headlights, everything. Like, I mean, I've had it build up so much, man, where like the headlights dim out. You know what I mean? You got to get out and scrape your headlights and stuff. So, you have these trucks driving with cameras, man. You know what I mean? Those things ain't got defrosters, defoggers on her. So, yeah, I'm not against I am not for cameras taking place of mirrors. I just think that it's not a very intelligent move. So,
what was the third thing?
Oh yeah, I was about to say third thing is ELDs. We'll make that the last thing so we can jump off here. ELDs. What is your thought on those? Gizmo, we'll start with you this time.
Fuck them ELDs. I think they're shit. No, seriously. I run Motiva with one of my fleets. It can be good, but at the same time, I don't like it. I couldn't drive. If I was a driver nowadays, there's not a chance in hell I would drive for somebody that did not have a pre-99 truck. Because I personally, I can't drive the way people drive now. When I was driving over the road, I'd get in and 9 times out of 10, I'd load up in Kansas, and next thing you know, I'm sitting in California. But those days are gone. You can't cheat on ELDs. You can, but you can't. It's I don't know, man. My personal opinion is I think they're trash. They don't allow you for things that are out of your control. Now, a paper
1,000%.
Right, a paper logbook. You can play with your numbers if you need to. Not saying that you have to, but you can pick up, you can manipulate it a little bit more as an owner-operator. As a company driver, you're only manipulated if you let the company manipulate you like that. It should be a personal choice if a person wants to, run illegal. I mean, that's basically it. I don't think that I should be held accountable to some little fucking remote or little clock that you have on your cell phone or whatever. That little clock doesn't know I was just in backup in traffic for the last 4 hours coming through LA or longer. I don't like it doesn't give you the versatility that a paper log does. For winter driving, you got to slow down. for road conditions and accidents. I mean, because you know as well as I do, in the wintertime, we're going to see a lot more accidents, especially if you run up on 80 or 70, because those idiots in Nebraska and Wyoming, they don't know how to clear the road properly and keep the roads clear. So, you know, like I said, there's so many disadvantages for someone that is forced to run into ELD. It makes you tired. It makes you, or excuse me, it makes you drive when you're tired. It makes you, you just don't have the flexibility that a paper logbook offers. And I don't know, I've said several times on here, I used to run loose leaf logs, and I never had any accidents. Never had any claims as far as due to my driving. I've noticed, just as a dispatcher, and from what my drivers tell me, it's starting to get really bad out there. You know, there's a lot of people out there driving trucks that have no business whatsoever. And I'm sure Pedro and JB, you've seen it out there as well. You know, you've got kind of like people that should be owner operators and people that should not be owner operators. You know, there's different kinds of people out there. And I've noticed a lot just by talking with my guys, there are too many young people out there that haven't been trained effectively for driving in conditions that they're not used to. So, JB, what do you think about e-logs?
I kind of agree with a lot of what you said, but I think that unfortunately they're an unnecessary evil. Like, they're here to stay. I like them on the back office end of things. As far as paperwork's concerned, it's easy to run a report off the ELD, and I don't have to flip through paper logs and, you know, go back and track miles and things like that. So I do love it on the back office end of things. But I think it makes, in my opinion, more company drivers unsafe than it does us owner operators, because if you have your own authority, you have a little bit more flexibility to pick and choose when you want to run, how you want to run. It's when you get into those variables of sitting at a dock too long, it's taking forever to unload, or you get caught in traffic or a bad accident, things like that, to where it really starts to come into play for you. Other than that, for us owner operators, it's kind of lackadaisical. Like, I can make the same money running an ELD that you can paper. Like, you're not going to really outperform me that much. But guys are driving faster. Guys aren't, you know, giving up position on the road. FedEx drivers, UPS drivers are some that I can mention that are just, they're hogging the lanes and not letting you over, or getting over
and their ass over.
Things of that nature. But they're here to stay. Like, I wish the ELD would be okay if we had the flexibility, like, get rid of the 70-hour clock, get rid of the stupid 30-minute break. If I start my day at 8 o'clock, let me pick and choose how I want to break up my entire day. As long as I drive 11 and the 14 hours, let it be what it is. If I stop at 5 o'clock in the evening and I shut down for 5 hours and then I get back up and take off, it is what it is. But as long as I get a 10-hour break after I'm done driving however I want to drive, let that be what it is, and let me work every single day and quit putting all these limitations on it. And I'd be okay with it, because I really don't want to keep up with paper logs. I don't want to run 2 logbooks. It's a hassle to me. You know, I remember right before the ELD mandate came out, I had my authority. I had buy stacks of paper sheets of e-logs, and I just tear it up and throw it away, start a new day, whatever, and then do what I need to do to make it work and get on down the road and keep making money. I don't need all that. So, but I think it's an unnecessary evil. We just need more flexibility, and that's where it comes down to pressuring your lawmakers to do something in Congress with getting something passed to have that flexibility.
So I will I will end it and I will say I am 1,000% pro ELD. I'm just joking. No, I'm just fucking kidding. I hate ELD. Fuck, I hate ELDs, bro. I could not. When I ended my driving career, I drove on ELDs, and I did it as I guess say OTR, even though I was on a dedicated account. I hated it. When I used them driving local, I didn't care too much because like all of my stuff was done within like 14 hours. So like I didn't give a shit. Like I never even touched it. Like I just let it do its own thing. I stopped the truck. It automatically went on duty. I drove like I didn't do anything to that fucking thing. But as an OTR driver, I absolutely hated it because I was one of these drivers, which kind of like is what you were just saying, JB, is like I drove until I got tired. And if that was 5 hours, and then I stopped for 5 hours or 6 hours and then was like, I'm ready to drive again, I drove again. And paper logs allowed me to do that. And I'll straight up say, man, like I rode illegally so much, but I never rode dangerously. I never put myself at risk or others at risk. I never drove tired, none of that. And I was also able to make more money. I mean, I was always a company driver. I will say that I was never an owner operator, but like I do know what owner operators go through. Man, I used to do 3,000, at least 3,000 miles a week in a 65 mile an hour truck, at least. I usually was probably around 35, sometimes 4,000 miles a week. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but I bet you that probably 90% of drivers out there right now are not covering 3,000 miles a fucking week solo with ELDs. And so I agree with what Gizmo said is like
I have an example when you get a minute.
Huh?
I have an example of something when you get a minute.
Okay, and I think they make drivers more dangerously. JB, I will kind of disagree with you and say that it's not only company drivers, man. I think those clocks, like Gizmo said, man, you basically have a timer. That's what it is. It's a fucking timer telling you that you have this amount of time to stop. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like when you're doing something in your garage, right? You're sitting there doing something and you're like, oh, I don't know how long this is going to take me. But then someone walks in. We'll just say a wife. We'll just use our wives as examples. Your wife walks in and says, babe, we have to go somewhere by 4:00. And so here it is noon, and you didn't plan on going anywhere. Like, this is what you're doing. You're saying, I'm going to do this. And now you're stressed out trying to get whatever it is that you're doing done so you can go do what you have to do with your old lady. I love how you look back at your wife, Jamie. But that's just an example I want to use, man, is it adds stress, man. And when you're stressed out, that obviously puts at risk your safety, because you're stressed out. You're worried about, I've got to get to this place by this time because I've got to deliver this load and I've got another load to pick up and I've got more money to make. And then I've got to make sure that I'm home on Friday. So if I don't deliver this load today, then I'm not going to be home till Friday afternoon and I need to be home Friday morning. And then if I'm not home, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys were like that, but as a driver, dude, I literally would plan out my whole fucking week. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'm going to drop here. I'm going to pick up here. I'm going to drop here. This time. I'm going to be back this time. And it makes things stressful is my point. And it doesn't allow, like you said, Gizmo, the flexibility and the versatility for a driver to drive when they're ready to drive. I don't know if I would do away with the 70-hour week. I would maybe make it 80, 1,000%. I would do away with that 30-minute break shit. I think that's stupid. And I will say this is why. When I was a driver, I never stopped at truck stops. When I got in that truck in the morning and I left the truck stop, the only time I stopped at a truck stop was when I ended my day. I would drive for 8 hours straight without stopping. As long as I didn't have to go to a bathroom, I was driving. And if I did have to stop, I pulled over at a rest area. That was the end of it. And the reason I say that is because there's some drivers that's what they do. Like, they'll drive 8-9 hours straight without pulling off the road. Like, that's how they roll. You know what I mean? And I think that 30-minute break, to me, I feel that like that gets a driver out of their mojo. JB, Gizmo, you know what I mean, bro? When you get in that truck, dude, you're about 2 hours. You've got the music blaring, like you're pumped up, your cup of coffee's full, and you're like, fuck, I got to pull over for 30 minutes for some bullshit. You know what I mean?
That rule. When did that rule come into effect? Because
it was like 2012 or no, 2013, 14, something like that.
No,
JB,
it
right?
was the 30-minute break rule actually started. I was still at US Foods, so I want to say it had to have been like 2014 or 13.
Yeah. It's been almost 10 years now. It's been quite a while. Dude, I would tell you that the only good thing about like working when it first came out, I was working at McLean, and it was great because, dude, you know, JB, you pull up to a stop, it can take you 30 minutes. I can put myself off duty and fucking go and deliver a stop.
You go deliver a stop, and the guys would get in trouble for that shit. I hated it for them, man, because like I don't know if y'all had the handheld scanners, but we had the scanners.
Yes.
So you can go in their scanner and see that they delivered the stop. And it's just like, dude, come on, man, you're telling on yourself.
No, we were too smart, bro. We at McLean, it was all teams. So, bro, we were strict with this
You're
shit,
lucky,
bro.
man.
We used to have this guy. I loved him. He was so awesome. A lot of drivers hated him, but I will tell you, if you're a driver out there, the people you want to become friends with are the safety department. Fuck your fleet manager. Fuck your transportation manager. You want to be friends with the safety people. That's who you want to be friends with. But anyway, this guy, McLean, they used to literally send this guy out, and he would go out and hunt drivers down, and he would do safety inspections on the spot. He would look at your logs. He would make sure that you had the proper footwear on, all these things, dude. And I'll never forget, he caught me twice, bro. He caught me twice. And with McLean, you know, you run team drivers, you were supposed to be in the sleeper, but we all worked. McLean knew that shit.
Yeah, y'all worked and helped each other
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but dude, the first 2 times he caught me, he was like, "Hey, Rob, you're supposed to be on your 30-minute break right now, but I see that you're on the clock. Is there something we could do about that?" Yes, there is, Glenn. There is right now. Let me go change that log for you. But anyway, go with your example, JB, and then we're gonna tap it off.
Yeah, that's like I'm not 100. Like I'm for it for the fleet aspect. Like the reason we switched to Motive is because we're having issues with Big Road. What we have now is like you'll put it on PC or you'll put it on duty yard move, and it'll automatically just switch you back to driving. And there's nothing you can do about it. It wrecks your whole day. So you got to drive around with that red mark. But I wanted to touch on this, like. Our situations out here vary from time to time. Like I remember one time I was in Haines City, Florida. I had a coolant hose bust. I had spent from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till like 10 o'clock at night getting an Uber, going to AutoZone, buying 2 cases of coolant, getting a hose, replacing that hose, fixing the truck, putting the coolant back in it. And it was late at night. Now I needed to get this load up to Massachusetts. Well, if I didn't get there on time, guess what? $400 late fee. Right? I need to get that load in for the end of the week so I can get paid. So I basically, and this is telling on myself, I was like, all right, I got 2 options. I can start driving right now and drive tired, been out in the hot sun all day trying to fix my truck, and then possibly not make it on time using E-Log, or I can just unplug it and I could go to sleep and get my rest and then get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive 24 straight hours all the way to Massachusetts to deliver this load. I stopped at New York before the New Jersey line and stopped for 1 hour to take a nap and got up and drove the rest of the way to get the product there because I didn't want to. They don't understand the problems that we face. So I don't want to pay a $400 late fee. I also don't want to get rescheduled. There's no telling when that rescheduling is going to be. I can sit on that sucker for a week. I'm not going through that. So sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get it done. Did I kill anybody? No. I did it safely. I did what I had to do, and I got it done. We're all different. We're all able to handle our own. It's just we always get mixed in with the bad ones that wreck and get somebody killed.
Yeah,
you're 1,000% right.
Pedro, when you were driving, you knew your limitations. You knew how far you can drive safely without being a road hazard. And
800 miles.
Yeah, well, maybe that was yours, but you know, I noticed, or I'm hoping that now there's not near as many drugs available to drivers, because when I drove, That was a real big problem, especially going out to California. I'm glad to see that the safety end of it, they're enforcing randoms now. And I mean, everybody's, like I was saying, everybody's got different thresholds they can, operate a truck safely at. Mine was about 36 hours. But everybody's different. There were days I'd get up and I could only go 200 miles, and then I'd have to pull over and take a siesta for a little bit. Especially when I was coming off of home time. And, as I've said before, safety is very, very important. It doesn't matter if you just started out or you're 20 years into the game. If you're not aware of your surroundings, if you're not taking care of your equipment, if you're not, looking ahead, you're going to have problems. Of course you can't predict everything that's going to happen, but if you take care of your equipment, you're not going to be going down the road and have a steer tire blow out at 65 miles an hour.
Very, very true. And yes, 100% agree. Every driver's different. I mean, me, I drove till I was tired. I just love driving, and I'll toot my own horn because it's 1,000% true. I was a badass fucking driver. I put trucks in places that trucks were not supposed to be. I did things that trucks were not supposed, or things that were not supposed to be done in trucks. And I had a great time out there. I did. I drove as long as I could drive. I didn't care. I really didn't. I would make my log work. I drove just whatever it was, whether it was 500 miles, 600, 800, 900. I don't give a shit. Like, I just drove what I wanted to drive, and that's what it was, because I wanted to make money. So, but with that said, Gizmo, JB, I appreciate you guys coming on very much, helping us pull the show together tonight. Our guest, I know you guys weren't on, but I again want to say our condolences out to Rob Carpenter and his family. He was supposed to join us tonight, but he lost his grandfather this evening. So he is with his family right now, spending time, and our hearts and prayers and positive vibes, they go out to you and your family, Rob. We're real sorry for what happened. And Rob told me he was very, very close to his grandfather. So I know that that he's really taking it hard. So, and not to make light of the situation, but we have to end the show. So we'll give a shout out to one of our sponsors here, AccuBid Pro. JB, you were not on when I first talked about him, but this may be something that you can talk about to other drivers, or maybe something to help you out. But AccuBid Pro, it's an app, man. And what you do is you put all your expenses in there, your load, your loads and everything, and it calculates how much it costs you to run your truck, your cost per mile, and shows you where you're profitable at, and helps you to bid better on your rate, so you make more money and your profit margins become higher, and you can stay in business and continue to flourish in the most important industry in the country, and that is logistics.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
AccuBid Pro, give them a shout. Information's rolling across the bottom of the screen. Tell them that the guys from the Logistics Lounge sent you over. And we will give our final shout out for right now to Freight Management Systems. They're going to end their sponsorship tonight, but they're going to come back in November when they roll out some incredible freaking updates. They're updating their logo. So the logo at the top of the screen there will change. New website, all kinds of incredible things coming out. We'll have them back on the show in November, and we'll roll out a new advertising package for them, so all of you can see the new, amazing, incredible things that they have got set up for all of you out there in the logistics world. gotta give credit to Dr. Dre right there, guys. Like Dr. Dre made that video, dude. He makes all of our videos except that AccuBid Pro. They made that one themselves, but all of our stuff on here, Dr. Dre does. So, dude, awesome job.
I get Dr. Dre to make one for me, damn it.
Dude, hit him up, JB. He's in the group. His name is, you see, Hunter Woodfin. Just tag him in the group, man. He can hook you up, dude. We have Adobe Creative Cloud. We make all kinds of visual content for people that advertise in my Facebook group on the page. So yeah, JB, hit him up, man. I mean, we're not expensive, bro. I mean, he'll probably do it for you next to fucking nothing. He enjoys it. So, and JB, we still want to have you advertise on the show, bro. I mean, for real, man. You know, we still want to bring you on and stuff, man, at some point.
I'm trying to find some of those videos like they got there showing those reels of truckers, and I get too tied up in what I'm doing and I get frustrated. So I'm just like, screw it. I just go back to driving.
Dude, all you got to do is have a short talk with Hunter and let Hunter get a feel for you and like what kind of guy you are in your business. And dude, he'll make it on the fly. Just like that FMS one, dude. He talked to Henry. Henry said, hey, this is how I am, what I feel. And Hunter made that shit in like 30 minutes, man. So yeah, dude, get with them, man. We will end the show tonight. I really appreciate you guys coming on and chatting with me about safety. I think that I think it was incredible to have one active driver on and two veteran drivers that on the show as well to talk about our real world experiences and things that safety wise that really matter out there that I think drivers need to truly pay attention. If you're just tuning in now or you tuned in a little bit ago, make sure you go back and watch the whole show. We touched on about 6 different topics. Some really cool stuff, some really cool insight that was put out there. That's all I have to say. Dre, do you want to end with anything before we chop out?
Happy Columbus Day, everybody.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, it's Columbus Day shit again, man. It's Indigenous People Day. Get it right.
Oh, bullshit.
That's not what Google says.
Well, fuck Google. I will say on that note, I'm more for Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus is a scam, is a total scam. So
Prove it. Prove it.
Dude, I told you to prove it. Dude, I've already proved it, bro. Vikings were the first people in North America besides the Indigenous people. How the fuck is Columbus it doesn't have still North America? And,
I don't know,
now there's
go out and make the Nords Day.
Whatever. Regardless, Columbus was a joke. He was a hack. The dude did some great stuff, not taken away from his expedition, but the guy does not deserve the freaking love that he gets, man. Whatever. So, anyway, in with that, happy Columbus Day. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday. Gizmo, have a fantastic weekend. JB, thanks for joining us. Tell your wife, thank you for allowing you to join us. I'm married too, so I know you have to get permission from wives. I know how that works, man. And enjoy your wedding, JB. You guys have a really great time. Make sure that you're safe on your way home, whether you're flying, going by bus, train, whatever. Make sure you guys are safe, okay?
All right.
Awesome. Hunter, you want to take us out?
Peace out.